Okay. All right, we're good. Okay. Whew. Excuse me for almost dying, but thankfully I didn't hit record before then. But thank you. I would say thank you, like we're about to end the podcast. Oh God. Uh
You might have to after that.
uh anyway, welcome everybody to this very special episode of the Out of Pocket Podcast. Normally we would have a regular show, however, due to a scheduling thing, a positive scheduling thing, keep that in mind. We have decided to turn this episode into the Cardfight Vanguard Divinez Deluxe Spoilercast.
Woo!
What?
Woo, because Spoilercast.
Yeah, but you cut out, so I'm like, you kind of sound like you fade away.
It's a ghostly woo. There we go. All right. Now they know what kind of episode this is.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, this is the Divinez Deluxe Spoilercast. Today, we're gonna talk about all of Cardfight Vanguard Divinez Deluxe, the third season of the Deluxe arc of the Dress era. And yeah, we're kind of gonna hop right into it because we're behind schedule, kind of. So Zeta, give me your initial thoughts of the season.
Huh? It's a weird one. Like I would say, I'm gonna say like mixed, leaning positive. Strong core. Doesn't hit anywhere near as hard as the previous two seasons. And I'm sick of hearing about a certain industry plant character, which we'll get to later. But overall, really kind of enjoyed it. Like what they're doing for some of the character arcs, but also feels like, man, maybe they could have, maybe this cast should have ended their stuff in the second season. I don't know. That'll be the shortest summary I can give, before we get into the actual meat of the discussion.
Okay. Okay, I double checked that we were recording. Sorry.
Oh my god.
We're good. You're still being heard. You're in, everything's still good. Say something real quick. Okay, there we go. I'm just playing with you. All right. So my initial thoughts of this season. Oh, by the way, spoilers! In case you have not watched Vanguard Divinez Deluxe, go watch
this
it.
This spoilercast will contain spoilers.
Yeah, I kind of forgot to put that part in. But I digress. So I will say, I like this more than season 2. Only for a couple of reasons, and one of those is just I feel like this season, I think really my biggest issue with season 2 was its conclusion, and that conclusion soured me so much as time went on. Whereas this one, I'm like, okay, this is fine as a standalone, but a lot of its like conclusion really will determine based on next season, which this is actually a 2-part season. Technically, the second half will appear somewhere in July for the finals, and then we'll go from there. But for the most part, I did enjoy the season. I know there's some people, and we'll get to those some people that were not happy with some choices.
There will always be some people in these streams. We will never let people not live rent free in our heads. Don't worry about it.
But we'll talk about when we talk about the lineup for this season. So going off a bit, our next point is so let's kind of talk about what the main purpose of course of the season is. We meet the mentor to now Inabe, our main female lead for the series. Her mentor is a person by the name of Kagetsu. Last name, because I forget his last name, but to be honest, we're not going to use his last name.
Does anyone care about last names? Honestly,
I was about to call him Kagetsu Toya, but I'm like, no, wait, that's the Multi Blood sequel. That's not the same.
oh my god.
I don't know, because even a double entendre of that, because Kagetsu Toya is the name of the Multi Blood sequel, Kagetsu, and there's a character named Toya in there, so I'm thinking his last name is Toya, and it's like in the series, so it was like it just kind of like locked in a perfect like way.
We can call him Kagetsu Pilgrim for like what we're going to be discussing later. It'll make sense later. Trust.
But yeah, we have Kagetsu. Wait, I should have his energy card like right here. Is it in here? We have Suzune's last name, which kind of matters for a storyline. Do I have it? I do not have his energy card. Never mind.
Do you want me to check the wiki?
Do not check the wiki. Do not give fandom any more clicks.
Well, I'm assuming you don't like the wiki.
No. Haven't you not heard me
All
on
right.
multiple podcast episodes talk about how the wiki kind of is just very just slaughtering? And it's not
No,
really.
you actually have never talked about this.
It is not really like mostly their fault, but it's also just like fandom sucks in general. So like, why on earth? Like quite literally, remember that episode where we crashed multiple times?
Uh-huh.
And not the one that had a ZRG on it. I'm talking about like the one where it's like we had to like literally stop. That's because I was looking on the wiki and it ate all my data. That was the game of the year. That was the game of the year podcast. I'm literally looking at the game of the year stuff on like a fandom site, and it ate so much memory in Chrome, it almost crashed my computer.
God, the most fandom drama I've had to deal with overall, with like wikis and whatnot, is honestly the Ultraman wiki schism. Like, this is a hilarious like side tangent, right?
I mean, let's not also forget they basically said, "Oh yeah, Giant Bomb's dead."
Right. But like, here's what happened. So we had there was like one Ultraman wiki, right? Pretty good one. Uh, Super Riot kind of bought out and actually took over, and made the wiki an official page. And I'm guessing a lot of people, a tiny minority of people just didn't like it, just like tried to like form like some split. I'm like, whole load of shenanigans. They're like, guys, we got an official wiki. I don't know. I mean, I would kill for like Cardfight Vanguard to have like an official wiki.
I mean, it would help. I mean, I got a rant for next week lined up for.
You're welcome.
I'm just letting you know. But the point is, we're going to go back on track for a second. Yeah, so Kagetsu meets Akina. He gives Akina this question of, why do you play Vanguard? And we'll get to the reason for this question and the reason for Akina's answer later on the show. But at the same time, here comes Jinky saying, you know what? I'm holding the third Deluxe because we already had the first one and we had the second one in a spin-off manga that people did not think was canon until it literally is referenced in the entire first two seasons of the Divines. And people,
I mean, to be for one of the mangas ever canon.
I mean, I don't know. I thought,
Never.
yeah, I mean, I could make a lot of content on the whole manga side of Vanguard because no one apparently wants to. Uh, I
Or like how
mean,
the
what?
timeline just splits into like 3 different pieces after like season 1.
But the point is, Kagetsu asked this question to Akina, and we kind of get this little like concept of like, oh, Kagetsu has something about Vanguard that makes him like the way he sounds like oh, you know, that question something like that could possibly kill someone, and
Vanguard kills.
it's like, oh, that's a very interesting premise, uh, an idea. Let's see where that goes. But the point is,
Oh boy.
Jinkiden decides to hold another deluxe, and he invites Akina and Kagetsu, and they both accept. And so we have the third deluxe in the series, in which we have 12 characters join the deluxe on A, B, and C block, while in D block we have a whole different tournament in which the top 2 of that tournament then become like the last come the D block in the final deluxe tournament. Now, why did they do this? I mean, the long short answer is pretty much to hold to bring one character who can't travel to the U.S. just yet. I mean, back to Japan just yet, and then another and then have another for a secret spoiler surprise later down the line. That's really the answer. Otherwise, there's no other reason why they would have a whole deluxe tournament and just bring the top 2.
Right.
Like, it's just kind of a weird thing. It's only for plot reasons why we're having this whole. Oh, we're having one in America, but only like two American entrants come in, which is funny because spoilers, neither character is an American. Neither character
Well,
who
I
makes the
mean,
final roster is American, which is
there were we have like one American character, but if we gave him a spot in this tournament, it'd kind of be DEI, saying we can't have that.
no. We have 2. No, we have 3. We have 3 like American or at least Western characters in the show.
And 2 of them are women. Kidding.
I mean, you're right.
Here's the problem, right? Of our American cast, one's a predator.
I mean, you said it first, not me.
Right?
One's a
But she got
predator.
away with it too.
One's a predator. One should be in the NBA, and the last one would be a DEI hire. Is that correct?
Correct. United States of Woke Vanguard.
Okay. This will be the last podcast.
Every episode's the last episode.
It's not like we make money on this podcast yet, so
I feel like the second we do, we'd start fighting over like 20 cents.
so yeah, we have the deluxe come out, and we have our 12 characters split into 3 blocks. We have Group A, which consists of Gi, the main antagonist of Vanguard Will Dress Season 3. We have Erika Miyoto, aka Future Hikari, who has changed her name and basically. Oh, there's a good point I forgot to put in the document. I'll put it there later. Who has changed her name, but she has changed her name and now works for the kind of like the B team uh of Anchor Bolt. So she is entered to try and become a pro herself. We also have Now, who also received an invitation because she in between, which this takes place approximately according to like the translation of details, takes place approximately a year after the end of Divine season 2. Why a whole year? I don't know.
Uh, I'm pretty sure it's entirely so like the series can end on Akina graduating from high school.
Oh, that was I thought you'd go and say another out of pocket thing like, so that way we can make it less creepy when he and Now get together.
I mean, he's gonna be like 18 by the end of the season. Yeah, I was just like saying it in a completely roundabout way, but thank you for elaborating on my point.
Well, more on that later.
Yep.
So we have that, and we have Mireille returning as well.
Industry plant.
How was she the
Industry
industry
plant
plant?
as character.
What? How was she the main lead, the antagonist of the best dress season? Is the
She's
industry
got
plant?
no plot in this season, and it's just there to look cool.
Okay,
Zechs.
listen. What plot does Meg? What plot? Okay, to be honest, until we got to episode 10, what plot did Megami have?
She was at least in this season prior. Compared to I'm just gonna walk in here. Hey guys, me right back. New support. Woo! Look at how cool I am. Woo!
Okay, let's see who else is there. What plot does Kuon have?
Man, his entire plot in this season is real and he has no reason to be here. And it's just spoiling one other guy's ticket.
Uh, we're
Man,
spoiling who the lineup is, which is funny. But yeah, no, that is our group A, which is 3 girls and an AI. The most inclusive part of the roster.
shoot, you think Yoshida was writing this season with how that block turned out?
Well, let's continue to Group B, which has Senka, our Now's rival. We have Megami returning. She's been in every season of the D era.
She's in the basement.
We have Suo, who also enters because he likes fighting. I actually am kind of confused. Why did Suo come in? I think about it more as time goes on. Why is Suo here? He only had one fight in season 2 and he lost it. Like,
To
what
show
was?
off his unshakable Riz. Don't worry about it.
Oh, he's here for hype moments and aura. I guess I don't know.
It's just like moments in aura.
Hype moments are in divine skill.
Hot dog hamburger.
Wait a second. I just realized every character, every group, exception of Group D, has a character that can use it. Has 2 characters that use divine skills. Group A has Erika Now. Group B has Suo and Senka, and Group C has Kuwano Akina.
Yes, the new versus the old.
With the exception of Group D, which unless they reveal that who has a divine skill, I don't know. Something weird's gonna happen there. But that's theory for later in
Does
this
the fated
podcast.
one of mind control?
What you say?
The fated one of mind control?
Oh, I thought you said Snow Bunny mind control. I'm like, what? I'm like, I mean, if we're using the Twitter gentrified version of it, then yes.
This might actually be the last episode.
I mean, we don't know what this card does, what that deck does. So who knows what they could try.
So we can't now cast Dominate. Don't ask us why.
Okay. So, and then now we go to our last member of Group B, which is Suzune Rokuen, who is one of the there's been so to kind of preface this, there's been a small little storyline about the quote the rising Tri-Stars, in which there are 3 young Vanguard players who are rising up in the pro scene. And so Senka is one, Raika, who we'll talk about in a second, is one, and the last one is Suzune, who is added into this. Which I think we should probably talk about this detail now. And this is one of the things that's really kind of pissing me off with the Divine seasons, is that for some reason they think it's best to leave out possibly critical backstory information from a lot of the series. Like we mentioned with Erica is doing this tournament. She took the place of oh my goodness, Taizo in this tournament. One, because Taizo believes in her, and 2, another thing is she wants to skip the pro exam. That would help a lot.
She's living with Taizo.
Become a pro. And 3, in a detail that was revealed on the Vanguard live stream, it is also revealed that technically, if she does not win or become a pro in a certain amount of time, she then has to leave the team because she cannot because of the rules of the pro seed. That's kind of a big piece of backstory and motivation that's just kind of cut out the show.
They add new rules to the pro scene every season. I don't care anymore.
I just gotta say, the pro scene is the worst implemented thing in the entire series, in the entire D era so far.
It's just like some nebulous thing that exists.
Because the one time we actually have legitimately, oh, here's the pros, they all get clapped except for the one dad voiced by Gojo, and he goes out in top 8. After that, the pros are just useless for the entire rest of the series until we finally get to.
And then we get to Divine. It's like, look, just win this tiny tournament here, and you'll totally just maintain your status in the pro scene. It's like, and now we get here. It's like, you gotta make it through the Divine, so you gotta make it through the Deluxe in order to maintain pro status, despite being able to just win once in the Little Leagues to become a pro.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I just kind of got a call real quick.
Sure, I gotta take a quick break too.
All right, so yeah, we were back on the pro scene.
Yep, it's dumb. It's completely nebulous. I don't know. Guess not enough time to do the G quest again.
So I think the real thing is they wanted to have this whole front fighter and counter fighter thing. Oh, there's we have the pro scene and we have effectively the rookies before the the I used to say the union versus non-union.
Right.
But it's like the way they were implemented was so terrible that they're basically have to
Also,
backtrack on trying to fix it, and it's like,
it also even didn't even work in like overdress because like the second they start going over it, it's like, oh, sorry, we stopped doing the clan war thing last season. Instead of all this like pro fighter, counter fighter stuff, cult, we're doing cult stuff. Sorry, so yep, ignore all of that stuff. We're doing cult shenanigans for like 2 seasons. Have fun.
wait, are you talking about
In like well dress,
okay,
which
because
is
you
more
said
whole like.
overdress. I'm like,
I mean,
I mean, because technically you are right.
right.
Because Mirai was technically kind of like doing like a slight cult thing, but like nothing too like deep like that.
So, like like we got the clan wars of like the underground fighter stuff and just in like overdress,
Yeah,
and
it
then
was
well dress
introduced in
first
the
season.
next to one of the last few episodes. Or rather, it was
Right.
introduced in like episode 3. We never speak of it again until the final like penultimate episode, and then it's supposed to be, and then we ignore it because we have an actual better plot to do.
Right, and then Wildress shows up, and they try to go deeper into it, and then like the very next season of Wildress, it's like cult shit. Sorry, ignore that.
All right, and AI AI storyline. We have no idea what we're doing with. That ruins our main character and parts of what I'll talk about in a second. What I bring up to say is like there's so many pieces of what supposedly is in the rules to become a pro that they just kind of, I feel like they never fleshed out to begin with. It's like, oh, Erica has to like do well in this tournament, otherwise she basically loses her home. She becomes
Like
homeless. And
at this point, the pro exists for 2 things: Erica's character arc and to drive a wedge between our 2 leads.
Oh, we'll
Potentially,
definitely get to that.
we'll get there.
But I
Yeah.
say that whole thing is like they put so many separate things. For example, last season, one of the reasons I got so pissed off about the conclusion is because Sybil's main entire backstory was put into a short story that is, one, not translated in English unless you go to like
translating the lore years ago.
they even translated lore again for a while. So one, that short story is all of a sudden just there. Like it says something when the 100 lines like short story prequel got translated as well before on the release of the actual game in English. Like you literally buy 100 line, you get a fully translated prequels like light novel for free. But Bushiroad, the company that has more money than the dude who made Danganronpa, can't do it. Can't even get their own website translated in English to this day. I don't care. Now someone's going like, oh well, you know, well people read the lore in Japanese, people translate anyway. That doesn't count. That doesn't matter. That's called having your lore all in one place. You put that entire lore thing together and you abandon it. Abandoned it.
Right.
And even then it's like, okay, that's not their job. Like when that's there, that means that's the job of the company to have that updated. That's not.
Look, all right.
I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on because I'm about to get pissed again.
They fired the intern who behind it. All right. They had one intern translating all the lore, and they got fired.
But the point is, right? Our main villain's backstory was put into a side story and was only referenced by like a 30-second speed run of flashbacks that could have been done to its own episode. So that pissed me off. And then we get to Suzune, who, yes, we know about her story as the Raccoon like family and everything in this series season. But this is part of the other thing that also kind of makes things pretty uncomfortable. It'd be nice to know that, oh, hey, by the way, this supposed like super pro, like this like rookie class member of pros is a middle schooler.
Oh no.
Yeah, but no one knew that, right? Because if you don't watch those little like minivan-esque snippets that like happen on Tuesday stream, you would not know that Suzune is a middle schooler. Which means all the shipping stuff going on with her and Suo is now actually kind of problematic.
You know, I mean, isn't it kind of the usual for the D era? And is there a non-problematic D era ship? Let's be honest, for like 5 seconds. It's all problematic the whole way down.
It's the gay one that isn't Yu and Donji. Yu, Donji, and now it like the gay ones are somehow the least problematic ones. It's funny. Like the exception of Yu, Donji, that one was weird. Every other ship is like every other like gay ship is not problematic. Right? It's like Yu, Raika, I'm forgetting what was her name? I guess I do have to go to the
background character 1 and main team member turned cheerleader.
There's Urara and Kelowna. That's one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Megami and Now. That's another one. Oh no, there is like one straight ship that's actually not problematic, and it's Ray and Yu.
There we go.
That's the least problematic ship, and it's our main character, our first main character, which everyone does not like right now,
and will never show up again.
We'll not talk about that. And the blind girl.
Yep, that's it. Everything else problematic the whole way down. Yep.
Somehow a metaphorical ship between Masanori and Toya is less problematic than some of these other ones. What is wrong with y'all? Like we had it's even worse because like we had one. Like it was like we thought we had it.
We did.
It's like, oh, you know what? Suzune and Suo, that sounds pretty cute. What do you mean?
No.
What do you mean we didn't turn Suo into a super senior by accident? Oh no!
God.
Oh, but it's like, shipping aside, like that is supposed to be a testament to how like how much like potential and skill she has, that she's that young compared to the rest of our cast, and is still probably like almost on par with them, and that she has like she's part of like she basically like 03 Melo, Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, and Dwayne Wade. Like it's like yeah, that's a good rookie class to have.
She's the strongest bench warmer in this series.
You can not just call her a bench warmer. That's crazy.
You know it's gonna be true.
Well, I mean, we've got a lot of other things to kind of talk about here.
Sorry, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. So that's my biggest problem, is that so many like small details that don't take like less than like 10 seconds to at least say. At the very least, it's like we could add that in there, and it would help a lot.
You gotta understand, all right? We gotta fit in the obligatory 2 to 3 minutes of Akira and now talking together in every episode. There's no time.
They dropped the trailer. Oh no. Okay, so update.
Wait, a trailer for what?
They showed the trailer for Rui's unit, for Rui as a whole. And we have her name. You ready?
Yep.
It is one who guides towards paradise, not a clear.
I actually get it, man. I'm done. I'm dead. All right. They're actually taking the piss here.
We'll talk about we'll bring more details up as
We'll
time
get
goes
there.
on, but we'll get there.
This first hour has a lot of foreshadowing for future events later in the podcast.
All right, so now we go into group, but the point is, yeah, they could just put that in the story, people would understand it, and we wouldn't have so many like missing details that would probably enhance the storytelling of the show and the world building. That's my biggest flaw with how Divine's been treated. It's like there's so many details we could do that'd be really great, but you just put them on side content, and that's annoying. Yep. Please stop doing that. Like that's two main characters who have potential heavy plot lines that are just kind of, you know, thrown to the wayside because you got too lazy to put them in your damn show. Excuse me, y'all. It's been a weird hour and a half, okay? So anyway, we move on to Group C.
The hell group block.
Yeah. So we have Kuon, we have Kagetsu, we have Akina, and then we've got Ruka. Stay the line.
Broad watch.
He almost made it out. He almost had it.
Props to props to like the people's champion for being the greatest spoiler of all time. God.
So, but yeah, we said that this was the death group because there was pretty much an actual, like, it actually, like, this is the death group because we legitimately were like, up until like the finale, there was up until the finale, even like halfway through, there was a genuine potential that this was such a super wild card group. It was insane.
They literally called it the Hell Block when they revealed it in the show. That's the crazy part.
Exactly, because it's like, oh, we've got Kuon, who runs at the time before, I guess we could say the second best meta deck in the game.
We got pretty much the third strongest character in that season of that, like in this like segment.
We have Ruka, who is returning with a new youth perk.
One of the top 5 strongest people in the verse, arguably.
We have Kagetsu, a former pro who's still been, you know, that pro that's still been practicing on the low.
Arguably tied for the strongest person in the verse.
At very least top 3. And then we've got our main character. And despite
who's nowhere near the top 10 in the verse.
And despite all of that, up until the last 10 minutes, you could make an argument that that entire block was unpredictable.
Right. I've never seen so many people bet against the main character in a run before.
Well, you know, that kind of brings up another thing. So, I guess we kind of think, like, before the season started, like, when we got the groups, who did you think was making out of each group? Because I was out of each group, right? So like Group A, who'd you think was gonna make it out of Gee, Erica, now, Mirai? Because I had Erica now making it out.
Same.
Like it was just like, come on, that's pretty easy. Like, you know, Mirai's cool, but she's not like that crazy.
But like, surely they won't advance the industry plant.
And then we found out how powerful Bob Sagra was. It's like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. All right.
But yeah, it's like Gee, because I'm like, they're not gonna put Gee in there.
No.
And Mirai's like at the time we're like, Mirai's cool, but it's like I don't think she's gonna be like a headliner for the final top 8. She might be like
Like, look. Sorry.
so it's like, yeah, they're gonna have Erica now show up in the top 8, and then we go off of there, right?
I was like, unless there's a picture of like Yu's VA coming out of the Bushard offices, I was just going to assume Mirai wasn't going to make it.
Yeah, so we have Group B, which had Senka, Megumi, Suo, and Suzune. I thought Suzune and Suo were gonna make it out.
Same, man. Shoot, yeah.
But this
You
spoiler,
know, new character makes it. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh.
yeah,
Oh.
this. And in Group C, I honestly thought like it was going to be Rika and Akina.
Right.
Because again, it's like if we're gonna have that storyline between uh Rika and shoot. I'm forgetting names, I'm sorry.
Someone with an M, I think. There's so many M's in this show.
Michiru. If we're gonna have that fight between Rika and Michiru, it would be interesting to have that there in the top 8, maybe top 4.
Right.
So where'd my pencil go? I need to
I mean, of course, I'm like, of course, August's going to make it his goddamn show.
But you know, that one was the group of death generally, because like even then the show could go on because Akina can just not could still give his answer and still lose, and the top 8 can still go on without him, because we
And then
still have
I think,
we could have like Kadani has said, the series can be about any one of our Divinez cast, and we have effectively main character 2 and main character 3 in Group A.
right.
So we literally could just make it about them. Heck, we could say they could do a story just about Kagetsu going forward. If we want to talk about a true industry plant.
One of the call could get to an industry plant yet. Industry simp, maybe, but not plant. There's a difference. I'm gonna get banned off Twitch for saying the word simp, huh?
I don't know.
It was a great final episode.
So, but yeah, okay. I wrote his name and Rui's name down, so we're cool with that. Yeah. So yeah, there was a lot of things there, right? So, I guess the kind of question is, how did you feel about Akina throughout the season?
That's a hard one. Like, he, I don't mind
For
him being
context,
the main
like let's remove like the moment his final fight with Kagetsu until like later. So remove that from the detail and be like, okay, let's
right.
and go off of that.
I mean, I get his arc, right? His arc's kind of, arguably speaking, beyond the tournament, probably the glue that, like, holds this season together. as far as like what it's about.
Also, oh, you mean kind of the overall like message?
Right. Like like why Vanguard, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I mean, I think it could have gone with a few less repetitive beats. There was like there was like a very clear structure to this arc, right? Kind of also like bookended by like Akino's whole like thing. Like, I think I kind of understand their motivations. Yeah, this is what Vanguard is. I mean, one thing I kind of like is that he kind of just still like, and it's been like my favorite part about Akino for like the first most, for like all of Divines for the most part. He still kind of just feels like the most like normal guy out of the main like three Vanguard protagonists.
I'm sorry, what?
he like he feels like the most normal dude out of the three like main Vanguard protagonists.
Three,
I mean, four. Main four.
four,
Not not counting Ibuki and Shinimon. I can leave the goats to the side for a while.
four.
Right, just like two Aichis. Five?
Five.
Oh my god.
I say because at
You
this
know who
point,
I'm talking.
I don't be messing with you, but it's like we've got technically like what two? We've got two Aichis. We technically have two UUs if we count like first dress. We have
God.
Zero. We have the main character of Youthquake. You know, there's so many.
Right.
There's so many officially, unofficially. It's funny. Uh,
God. Because like I compare the season to G Next internally in my head, and I'm like, thank God Akina isn't turning into a platitude machine like Chrono was starting to.
mhm.
Oh God, I do not want to relive that moment.
Nah, I
Like,
think.
bro, can you please say something during these fights that isn't a friendship speech?
But the power of friendship, brother. You literally were going to abandon your aunt. like,
God.
like we know what you are.
You don't need to say it in every fight.
Now, granted, like the original GMA does not like put that point out clear, but it's like we know the idea now of what the intention was.
Right.
It's like you can't fool us, sir.
Overall, pretty positive about Akina.
I would say that too. I think what is funny about Akina's thing is like his plot line is the glue of the entire story, but it also kind of like made it awkward when it's like, yeah, I kind of care about everyone else in this storyline more, in this tournament a lot more from like a personal
Right.
reasoning.
Like a lot of interesting characters and mini arcs going on in the background, but also like it's his show, god damn it.
Yeah, it's like because like, we've got again Erica's whole storyline. We have now kind of like trying to like solidify herself as a pro. We've got Suzune's storyline,
Right.
which brings in Suo. We've got Raika's storyline that would continue off, that would connect with
Hmm.
Michiru. We've got Kagetsu storyline, which we'll get to.
Right. That's a lot of arcs, but this show's actually about me, my sister, my girlfriend, and my girlfriend's mentor. All right.
Not my girlfriend and my girlfriend the mentor. That's crazy. You know what? Speaking of girlfriend, let's. I forgot this point. Let's just talk about the characters who didn't make it into this tournament.
Who's Mikoto again?
I hate you.
Oh come on.
But like let's just kind of talk about like right, regular Hikari doesn't make it in. I presume because people then realize, wait a second. One, probably because she's like still a little girl. Two, it's like, wait a sec. I mean, I say she's still a little girl, so she's not a first year high schooler now, older than Suzune.
Right. Were there
But
3 Miyotas in this tournament?
it's like, why is there two and then one that looks like an older version of one other one? What's going on here?
Right. Freaking legacy bias casting. Yeah, we're starting a dynasty here.
It's like, you got LeBronny James, and LeBron James' third kid coming up. It's like, what?
Right. Like, nah.
You got Vegeta, Kid Trunks, and Trunks on the roster.
Look, man, they needed all the Vegetas they could against Bojack.
So yeah, this there. Mikoto really just didn't do anything this season, which even worse when you're like, wait, why is she just like co-hosting with? Like, we really brought in Tamari to be a commentator, but we didn't like.
Right.
Oh, why didn't we have like a duo booth with her and Mikoto? It's like, come on, this listen, for all the music you about to have for all these damn idols, the fact that this series like main idol character does nothing is crazy to me. Like
It's
every
it's an
other series
impressive
idol character,
sidelining.
it is, because it's like, wait, what? What do you mean? She should be like promoting the event. She saved the world, damn it! She helped save the world, god damn it!
I mean, did she really?
Yes, she won her fight. She won her fight against her destined showdown opponent. What did Akina do? He jogged to his sister and then got a second, and then got a repass because of lore.
Yeah, my sister can beat you up in a fight.
It's like again, she's literally a cheerleader when she's an idol. She should be working the crowd alongside Tamari. That's what you should
You're
have
right.
did. Like, why did we
She is
just?
Look, Akina needs a cheerleader, all right?
He has. Did you not remember that? He has Kazuma. He has Kazuma's voice actor. He has his little sister, and he's got Yuna. I think we're fine.
And Mikoto is leading the cheer squad.
Actually, most cucked idol characters since Korin. This is crazy.
She is actually sitting in the chair. It's kind of hilarious.
Like, at least Korin
Mikoto is sitting in the
has reasons why she's not involved, right? She lost her memories. She's everything, right? There's actual in-universe reasons. This is just, we're pushing the now Akina ship so hard.
Korin actually had reasons.
We literally have to sideline.
Mikoto's just chilling in the cuck chair.
We literally had to sideline the other character who makes sense for no reason.
Look, it's that, or we bring back a triangle. And I don't know how Vanguard fans survived the mess that was Link Joker.
The triangle was fine. Like, anything with issues with Link Joker was not the supposed quote unquote triangle of Korin, Misaki, and Aichi.
I'm just saying we can't go back there, man. No more triangles in Vanguard. We've learned our lesson.
And technically, we could say there is a quote unquote triangle with with Chrono Tokuha and Kumi, but that's not really a thing. And everyone knows technically Kumi won that one.
The jury is out. A perpetual tie has been established. Ceasefire.
Well, let's see. Tokuha is in a whole different country, and in the G like update little thing they did for the 10th anniversary, they said, "Oh yeah, Chrono just constantly trains and Kumi like is supportive of him." Huh? I wonder what that could potentially lead to. They both go to the same high school.
All right. I didn't read that. I didn't see that blurb. I'm not gonna lie.
Tokuha's love interest died in a traffic accident.
Dude just got reversed. Dude just got reverse isekai and got re-isekai. Don't worry about it.
It's like, I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure Kumi wins this one by technicality.
Right. The best kind of winning.
So you have that. Taizo is out because he wants Erica to do it. That's fine. I think Taizo's got enough screen time for right now. Being a mentor character is
You
fine.
got a lot to say about Taizo.
What?
He's on the creep list. Bill.
Okay, listen. He is not made. Listen, it's different. They haven't had moments where he and Erica have had like lovey dovey or anything. Assuming that is just entirely the fan base playing off that because of his interactions with her in season 1, which is not creepy at all if you understand that the only reason why he went to that little girl's hospital room was to prove that time travel was real. Okay. There's nothing else weird about that. You would have to stretch to get to that point.
I mean, the new One Piece episode aired that a lot of stretching.
Boo.
I know.
Okay, Masanori is pretty much not even a fighter. He's just like there to cause mischief, so him being out makes sense. Jinky being out makes sense. He's running the tournament. We will get to the Americas side in a bit.
Quote unquote American side.
Yeah. But once again, none of the pro fighters from the first Deluxe show up. None of the
Honestly,
well-dressed D2 characters show up. So it is.
I like the pro fighters from the first Deluxe. I feel like some artist was just like, "Hey guys, here's these character designs I left on the cutting room floor. You guys want these? Sure."
Which is even worse because it's like when you realize that technically most of their voice actors are like big names. That is the equivalent. That's basically the equivalent of getting Steve Bloom to voice a one-off character. That's like getting Steve Bloom, Nolan North, and I was gonna say Ashley Birch to voice like characters who show up for one episode. It's like, are you serious?
Right.
Like, that's a free check for them, but come on, dog. You had them on call to do an episode, and you said, let's give them the most irrelevant characters of all time.
True, man. They're too expensive.
And let's give it to Haruka. What was her name? Let's give it to the voice actor who does Asuna from Sword Art Online. Let's do it to her again. Because she was the lab assistant in Shinimon.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you know, the one that seems like she would be playing like Meg Conley but does nothing.
Right.
It's like, yeah, let's just do that to her again. Okay. It's like, come on, dog. They're not even in freaking Deer Days as like characters you can play as. One or two.
I mean, we'd have to make up some decks for them that haven't been used by a character in the anime and haven't been used by all the OCs they just came up with for these games.
Dude,
Shoot, man,
what
we're
are
in the
you
decks.
what are you talking about? They have their decks. The fisherman looking dude plays Flagberg. He played Daryl Magnus. The buff dude was the Eugene player. And the twin tail 20 something was the Kyoka player who could play almost any other lyrical deck. They had decks.
Man, dude, they were like so irrelevant. I completely forgot what decks they had.
Heck, the guy freaking Gojo is the B hero player. He's had more screen time than all of them combined.
Well, he's Gojo.
But it's just like, bro, are we dead ass? Just
Most boring looking guy in the cast gets the most screen time. Don't worry about it.
he gets most screen time. He gets more. He literally has actual like connections to the actual main characters. They really did try to have this point in like the end of like Will Dress season 1, where it's like, oh, the Flagwork guy tries to become like Yu Yu's buddy, and it's like. Like it's like the equivalent of like, oh man, it's just like the equivalent of like Kanye saying, "Yo, Dad, I got you," and it's like, get the fuck out of here.
I'm here too. We're here too.
It's like, what? Like, who is you? It's like, oh, come on, man. I like you cutting your jib. It's like, if you don't get away from me right now,
Right. Get out of here.
it's like, just stop. Stop, dog. Like,
You're done.
Come on, bro. It's like, we met one time and it was today. You don't call me bro. Want to be Kamui so bad.
Yeah. I mean, no one can be Kamui. It's those are closest, and he no.
Like, so who else was missing? I pretty much Toya was missing. We knew where Donji was. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Maybe Toya just became a doctor off screen.
That'd be funny. It's like, wait, what?
Like without Masanori there, Toya just finally becomes a responsible adult and just quit. He finally got off the crack and became a doctor.
I think is there any other. Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Like that's pretty much every character in the dress cast that didn't show up. We pretty much like said, oh yeah, no, the Will Dress D2 girls didn't show up. The pros from Will Dress 1 didn't show up. We pretty much we got everybody.
Like everyone that's relevant is here.
Kinda, yeah, which is with the exception of one being, our usual main character like fight.
Right.
Which, we'll get to there. So how did you feel about the overall tournament as rounds 1 and 2 were going on?
The overall tournament. The round 1 and 2. Like, I mean, I would say like round one felt pretty like normal, right? Like what I'm doing like round one was like what I expected to. I don't know. I think it was like round two, right, where they're like pull like all the random like upsets out of nowhere. It's like,
Mhm.
oh shoot, all right, time for people to start jobbing. I guess they wanted to build up some tension, right? It was like, man, the Divinez casting is so good right now. It sure would be unfortunate if, like the very next round they get completely caught by the legacy characters. Silliness,
Yeah. Well, I will say like very much like to me, I did at least enjoy like kind of like the surprises. I understand, I will say I was kind of like stun locked by like the we just skipped the last like 3 matches of day one and
right?
then getting stun locked by the Megami lost to Suo. Like, huh?
That was a fun. I will admit that was like maybe the funniest comedic bit in that season.
I was
I'll
like,
be right back. He just walks on stage and walks off stage 2 seconds later. Like what?
like it was just like that's the off-screen speed run was insane. I'm like, huh?
Right?
Because it's like I'm just like, oh man, I can't wait to see Megami fight. And then what?
All right.
And it's like, oh, I had to hear more jobbing memes for like another 2 weeks. And I was like,
And Mega B fans are just in a perpetual cycle of hype moments and suffering.
not even aura suffering, just pure suffering.
Right.
Oh my god.
I mean, I
Because
know what happened here. Like, I think I finally understand the psyche of the Megami fan.
okay.
You guys were hoping for you guys were like putting all your eggs in the basket, hoping she was gonna be the next Misaki, huh? She's gonna be your next Misaki, your next Toka, huh? She's gonna be the top tier female character that's gonna get a whole lot of like praise and like great moments. And then Overdrive Season 1 happened. You guys have been unable to be freed from Samsara ever since.
Well, we were almost there. Like Overdress season 2 was cool. We're ignoring
Season
this.
0 happened. I mean, episode 0
We're
happened,
ignoring
Zach.
that. Like
That was the death knell.
that was cool. And then they just wrote utter dog shit. I have no other way to say it nicely. They wrote ass.
God.
And I'm just like, oh my god, what have you? And we've been stuck in the infinite Tsukiyomi for 3 seasons.
God.
So yeah,
Well, you guys have had it rough.
I mean, Tamari fans have been having it rougher. I won't say rougher. They at least their character doesn't do anything, but she's not like
But let's be honest. Tamari fans are only in there for legs, all right?
in there for legs and titties. That's it.
We all know it.
I told you this is gonna be the last episode of the podcast. So might as well just go ahead.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
we're done after this.
Tamari got some nice handcuffs. Oh my god, what's wrong with me?
Man, look, it's all right. All right. If it's any consolation, we could just blame Different Five for the Tamari fandom.
I mean, it's also
All
funny
right.
because like the whole thing was like, oh yeah, it's the whole thing of like, oh yeah, Psalm's on Team Megami, and then he proceeded to not watch the show.
Right. Look, all I'm saying, ACAB doesn't matter when a cop has legs like those. Different Fight 2021.
That's the clip.
All
That's the clip.
right.
That's the clip. Oh.
This is it. We're recording this like it's the finale. Out of Pocket season 2 starts next week.
Okay. So yeah, basically we were like, yeah, no, she's cool. She's has a unique design. It's like, yeah, we wanted, and it's like, and people are, and I don't know, and I say this because I'm just like, I feel like we kind of went through this weird revisionist history thing where it's like, oh no, the Vanguard girls were never good. It's like we're just comparing them to Yu-Gi-Oh, where they are either just kind of whatever or actively terrible past a certain
Right.
point. Like I really like RV did a lot of damage to like I understand that, yeah, no, there's a lot more things, right? There's
Yeah.
Akiza becoming a literally be called bench warmer.
And then
There's
Brains happened.
Reigns, yes. What Reigns is weird because like it was really just kind of like one person. Ironically, it's the voice actor for Mirai.
I mean,
The best female character in the Vanguard franchise.
to be fair, there's only like maybe like 3 or 4 female characters in all of Brains with actual speaking lines.
Yeah, 3. And like, but it's like it's just insane how like they just ragdolled one of them so hard it ruined the other 2 by proxy.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, that's our main female lead. Oh, and there she is getting slammed into the wall. Oh, there she goes face first into concrete.
I mean, don't forget, like Ghost Girl's like not innocent for this either, for immediately jobbing the elder hermano. Oh my god, it's my brother! No! God. Freaking Reigns.
Listen, I still love Brains, but it is just like, damn, that show was not perfect.
I mean, it doesn't help it has the same mark like twice in a row. I'm here to end the internet. Oh my gosh. Revolver's here to end the internet. I'm here to end the internet. Oh my gosh, Ignis is here to end the internet.
I
I
mean,
mean, like, whatever.
it does say something like the best arc is its last arc, in which it's just uh toxic yaoi.
And it's probably not someone here to end the internet.
Yeah, no, I'm just here to end my own life.
Right.
Like,
Man, the best part of Reigns was the part about Reigns killing itself.
this was the whole.
We're
This
done
is the.
after this.
That's literally.
We're out.
It's like that's. You would think he's joking, but he's technically right. The best arc of Reigns is the arc in which the actual AI says, "You know what? I'm going off myself because it'd be better for literally everyone else, but I'm going to do it in
Right.
the most me way possible, basically turning everyone against me." Turning
God.
everyone against me and saying, just come and beat my ass. And just do it to the point where it's like, oh yeah, no, now my best friend has to come and kill me. I'm not gonna tell him why, but we gotta do it.
Hey, so Yusakura, I watched this thing called Code Geass Season 2 the other day. God.
It's funny because I is voiced by Suzaku's voice actor.
Yeah, we love doing reversals here.
But
Did anyone actually watch Code Geass Season 3? No? Good.
which do you know how little that narrows it down? What is that?
Shoot, you're right.
Like there's technically three season three. There's Akito, there's Resurrection, and then there's Rose of the Recapture, and then there's apparently another series gonna come out soon.
Okay, well, like no one watched Akito. Like, I mean, Rose. Did
Oh,
anyone actually
Rose?
watch Rose the Recapture?
No, because it was no one watched Rose because it was on Disney Plus. All people knew about was the black girl with giant titties.
I mean, to be fair,
And the other images of our main character in bondage. That's all we got. People actually watched the show.
this starting to sound like a lot like the Nikkei cast.
Anyway,
This is our final episode.
all right. Anyway, yeah, it's like there was this weird. So it's like Megami. The whole way Megami was handled started like this weird like reverse, like this revisionist history that like, oh, Vanguard girls were never good or never as good as like the boys. It's like one, yeah, but that's because the boys got a lot of screen time. But it's not like, but we kept on acting like they were other people were like literally like, oh, they were basically garbage characters. Like, no,
Right.
Misaki literally ran the game. Like anyone who watched Card Game Anime could tell you she was probably one of the best written female characters in the entire genre.
Like the funniest part about Vanguard season 1 is like you start to think, you start the series off thinking, man, I'm watching this for Kai and Aichi and Ren and whatnot. And at some point you're gonna grow up and you realize actually Misaki and Kami were kind of the goats.
Yeah, it's like Misaki and Kamui were literally like the backbones of two generations.
They were carrying this show.
But it very much is just like, man, like people really did want to like revisionist history that like, and it frustrated me to no end because like, what are y'all talking about? Like that's how bad Megami was treated. That people were legitimately like, were actually
Right.
trying to like dog the entire rest of the franchise down. I'm like, if I missed something, what the heck happened?
I mean, I'm also assuming a bit was like probably at least to some degree some like violent pushback towards the like there's gonna be a few people different corners, right? You're gonna have like the Dungy and Yu shippers who are like, get this girl out of my sight. And you have a bunch of people going, I really do not like the Megami and Donji thing. Get her out of my sight.
Mm,
And then you have a
yeah,
bunch of people going, haha, girl jobbing. Like she was just being attacked on all sides here.
which I think kind of goes to like this point I was going to talk about. Like, so I think a lot of people kind of were also whatever going into season because of just the amount of dress characters that were coming back.
Right.
Because like again, we talked about Tamari coming into the show. You know, we have Megami, we have
Like people just
Mireille, we have
really prefer
Yi,
the
we have
Divinez cast.
Rika. Huh?
Like I think people just really prefer the Divine's cast to the dress cast. So like, like why are you putting the peas back in the mashed potatoes?
I mean, it's like, well, what else are you supposed to do? Like, this world,
Not a tournament arc?
it's not like we're living in a different thing. They all live pretty much in the same like region, give or take like a couple miles. Like I think if I'm correct, the Divine's cast lives in the same city Mireille does.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, of course they're going to show up. Megami literally works at their card shop. Like, I think it really is just kind of a mix of just people are still not over how Will Dress was handled.
Yep.
And people still really just like the Divinez cast a lot more. So you have that that issue of when you put them together, when arguably the audience is not ready, or rather has not, given grace to that cast, because
Right.
that did a lot of damage. But I've gone on rants saying how much Real Dress Season 3 basically ruined Yu.
And then you realize Will Dress is longer than Overdress.
Yeah. Will Dress is longer than Overdress, and it had more negative moments, right? It messed up Megami. It messed up Yu. Tamaru was useless. People still are confused about what the hell's going on Donji. They character assassinated Toya. I still stand by that. They character assassinated him at aspects. Granted, he was still a good character, but I guess character assassination probably is wrong. I say I prefer the the Toya that was in season 2 Overdress compared to the Toya that was in Will Dress onwards.
I mean, season 2 is our friendly neighborhood drug addict, so yeah.
But it really is, they did so much to the Overdress cast that really hurt them. And then you add in the Will Dress cast, which kind of felt like they were just replacements for Megami and Donji as like the big three. And it was just like it became very controversial. So you have them come back in a world where they've got a arguably way more preferred cast.
It's what happens in Vanguard. For like the second the seasons change, even a bit, it's like, all right, main character, we know you liked your trio or group from like the past seasons, but you know what? Here's two new guys who are, from a new trio.
But
Game your old power trio.
but here's the
Here's some new,
difference.
the new dude.
But here's the difference, right? Like if we go back into Link Joker, yes, we technically got was Naoki
Yeah.
and what's his name? I was gonna say Shiba, the
Right.
glasses kid.
Yep.
Like we got them, but they weren't like overtaking the whole thing. They were still going in their own journey, but it was still Aichi's season at the end of the day. He was still running the show, and it was still that old group that was still running alliance alongside him. It
And
was
then
still him.
G-Next happens.
G Next is weird because yeah, that was an
Here's
intentional
Kazuma.
decision. Here's Cosmo, yes, but we still had Tayo, who was from previous seasons, and it was more of Chrono trying to become this this mentor figure in a sense, as a new way of kind of let that go. I don't think they handled it as well as they could have, but
No.
I feel like that was still handled better. As opposed to, yeah, we have Raika and Urata, and they basically take all the good writing.
Not that there was that much anyways.
Yeah. Like, I mean, for crying out loud, like the whole Sophie is a predator thing is primarily because of how her final scene in Will Dress played out.
Right.
And we'll get to kind of like her cameo in the final day segment, but it's very much just like a lot of like when we ended Will Dress, there was a lot of negativity for the Vanguard anime at that point.
It's fine. Raika's 18 now. Is what Bushy is gonna keep saying.
Uh-huh. Okay. And no.
I'm kidding.
I know you're kidding. But the fact that they could probably do that twice in the same span is
We know they're at least gonna do it one more time.
All right, let's get back to it. So,
We'll get to that in about like an hour and a half from now.
I mean, we're already an hour and a half in, so
Right. At the
so
3 hour mark, we'll finally finish all the foreshadowing.
all right, so um, I do say like as someone who does still care about that cast, I was so happy to kind of see them get if it did kind of like another shot at like trying to redeem themselves, and I think they did a really good job. I think Beret didn't really need any redemption. She was already the best written character out of that entire cast.
I mean,
I think the
the
humor
dress
kind of
cast,
comes. I think the humor kind of comes with the fact that she's the user of the most powerful deck in the game right now,
right.
IRL. So that's just uh yeah. What were
I
you
think
gonna
my
say?
problem with the dress cast is that they're just here for hype moments and aura this season. They literally gave Megami and Rika aura.
Okay, and they lit and they did that for Gears Crisis too.
Yeah, but I'm like, why are you actually giving them aura for hype moments? This is
Like
not the time.
like they did that for Kai for 3 Shion fights.
I didn't like Kai Wink either.
Like he literally beat the brace off of Shion in a laundromat. Like
Yeah.
so
Look, all right. I've been in South LA. All right. If there's like a laundromat with a Street Fighter cabinet, someone's going to run the ones on you. I've seen it happen.
I mean, yes, but it's just like if we're gonna give that a quote unquote pass, then we can give Megami literally getting aura a whole thing too. Right? We can give Megami and Raika and aura a whole thing too. Plus, I do think Raika's fight makes a lot of narrative like payoff because it's like yeah no he this is practically a mirror to his first fight with Yu in a sense,
Right.
and it also kind of shows like how Yu and uh Akina are different in terms of protagonists. That's in terms of characters, really, because of how like
Right.
they each handle Raika's, I guess, abrasiveness. It'd probably be the right way to put it.
Yu's like, darn, that guy kind of like mean to me. Shoot, Doc. So you mind like give me some pep talk? And Akina's like, man, that was pretty rough. Rematch?
Yeah, I guess that works. That works as a comparison there, but yeah, it's just like it works narratively, and I think Megami's fight with Susanne also shows that yeah, no, she is different for now. I'm
And
so
I,
scared for
I,
next
I
season. Please.
dude, do you want me to start lighting the candles early?
No. We gotta make it through this. So
All right.
yeah, it's like all of them each kind of like show their metaphor respective growth, and it's like I really like that for them. I just wish that people would and I say wish because like I know people are just never going to really people are never really going to accept characters after you have that hard impression on them, right? There's still people to this day
Right.
that think Chrono ruined Vanguard.
I mean, you gotta also consider like there's all a big portion, not maybe not a big one. Like there is a small enough portion of like the hater base for like these characters that exists entirely to make Inkimari mad.
Uh,
Like there was a large portion just after one redditor, and a derived glee from just hating on her fit comfort characters. The Vanguard fan base is small enough to get one guide.
Yeah, you say, and I'm like, you say that, but I literally like right before the podcast saw someone actually do that, and I'm like, oh god,
Right.
like literally before the podcast, just commented something underneath her post, and it's like, oh come on, y'all really need all y'all babies, damn.
Right.
It's even funnier because, like, again, earlier today, I was talking about, like, there's this whole, so little small tangent. There was a whole, like, post about, like, oh, if City of the Wolves flops, get ready to have the FGC is going to die. And I'm like, if the City of the Wolves has flops because people don't want to support it because of, like, certain aspects, maybe the FGC should die. And one
Right.
of the things I put up was talking about, Ronaldo and the essay case he has, and kind of the whole Saudi Arabia thing, and somebody, and the stupid like little like meme Twitters who come and those glizzy gobbler Twitters who want to like just be trolls and every time, like, man, get this politics ish out the game, pussy. It's like, what? And it immediately blocks me before I even have a chance to respond. Like, oh, so you gonna
God.
call me a pussy, but then you gonna block me instantly so I can't respond? Oh,
Right.
you hypocritical ass bitch! I oughta I will smack you.
Final episode. it's all over after that. Shit, you might have to call our guest for next week to reschedule for season 2.
No, we're good. Which, speaking of guests, I do feel, small thing, I do feel bad because I did want to have another person on this podcast, but timing just didn't work out this time.
Happens.
It was originally gonna be recorded like last week, then didn't happen. Just so we just did this week. I forgot to add that in the start, but so I'm sorry. Next,
We may also send invites to every single Cardfight Vanguard, like small creators. Go, hey, you guys want a spot?
you want a podcast?
Like, let's just bring every single person we can on here.
I mean, you literally held a gotcha cast, and you ain't played a gotcha game on your channel in about 2 months.
Hey, I
So
did stream. Whoa! I did stream the News Endless update
when?
last week.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, one hole's endless. All right.
Fine, I'll play. Oh, it's fine. I'll solo another gotcha game. Also been download G Generation Eternal. Holy cow, that game's really good.
I'm surprised you ain't playing that on your stream. Okay, we gotta get back to the podcast. So
You want to install BlueStacks?
So next on the list is Suzune's backstory, which her entire storyline about being part of this prestigious Vanguard family that has been this like masterclass of Vanguard for a long time, that we've obviously just heard about till this season. But they're
Right.
apparently really, really famous in the pro scene, which also is so underdeveloped it hurts.
Look, at this point, D series power scaling is the funniest thing.
Power scaling
Like,
funny
it's
in general, so
crazy.
funny.
Like, these were fine, and like even in G, like the power scaling kind of worked. D, it's like, all right, here's Donji, greatest person of all time, strongest ever. Oh, and here's Michiru.
Which
And then Device Deluxe, it's like, yeah, but what if?
we'll get to Michiru in a second because I'm not like he'll be mentioned when we get to the Group D stuff. But yeah, the Raccoon family, and we have Suzune and her mother, who is very much just the usual. If you don't produce results, you might as well just not exist, or that archetype of
Right.
mother character.
Very centered stuff.
So she's pretty much just like, I don't really have anything but Vanguard. There's nothing else going on, and so the whole story is like her kind of like this whole tournament, pretty much kind of like trying to break free of those metaphorical chains, and moving on, moving past that whole all that pressure and saying, no, I want to be myself. And so that leads with her fight with Megami, where that fight with Senka, which yes, she wins, but Senka's like her usual like, this fight was fun. I just like fighting. I like just like fighting. I like trying to push past people. Like, you know what? I'm going to exceed. I'm going to, like, she's like, Senka's whole thing is like, I'm going to eventually beat you and surpass you anyway. So I'm just enjoying the ride.
I'm gonna give my coldest take ever.
What?
I think Senka is the worst part of the new D cast.
Damn.
Am I wrong?
I mean, I wouldn't say that.
Like,
Give me a
and take
reasoning.
every single take any new character from Divinez. They all have more going on than Senka. Even Akina's random friend who doesn't even play Vanguard
I think he started playing
is
Vanguard.
more like he just started, but like even he's more likable. We already have Swobo to fill the fight me, fight me, fight me quota. And no amount of Misaki's voice actress is going to salvage a second one. Who's more annoying?
Which, also added to the point, Misaki's voice actress did not voice her for this season because she was, having a child during recording sessions. So they recast her
So
for this.
Senka doesn't even get that going for her.
Which
Like,
I don't think you can really tell directly, because like I think the replacement VA does a pretty good job of
really,
filling.
really good job, yeah.
Like,
Senka's only role is jobbing and then telling out, hey, remember me? Hey, I'm the op. Remember me? I'm here.
yeah, okay.
Like,
I'll
we already
concede
had,
that Senka
we
probably. I'm sorry. I'll concede that Senka probably isn't like the most like deep character in the entire like roster of characters.
I'm not even gonna lie. For like a decent amount of time, I honestly thought Senka was just a great on kid wearing a dress.
Oh my god, I forgot him in the who was missing from the roster.
Like, I literally thought that was just him wearing a dress.
Like literally just the same character, or
Yes.
they have different hair. And we saw him literally like last season.
So does you in a dress.
But that's a wig. It would make
Right.
sense. And like Stenka is older than Shinobu. She doesn't look like it, but she is.
Right. But I'm like, I literally cannot tell these two characters apart. Same archetype, same annoyingness factor, and they look kind of similar enough.
So it's like Shinobu is like Senka is a annoying brat
Uh-huh.
derogatory, and Shinobu is annoying brat positive.
Right.
Like I can get it. Senka's whole thing is she's supposed to kind of like be the annoying rival character, but she's like also like not like it's because like she's a take on annoying rival character who's like, yeah, I'm going to beat everyone anyway. her cockiness is like, even when I'm losing, I still know eventually I will just beat you all anyway. It just means I gotta
Right.
work harder. And it's like, God damn it, can't you just take an L and be annoying?
Senka's the obligatory combat masochist in every card game anime. There has to be at least one of them.
But like you said, we also just have Suo, who is just that, who became that
Right, like we
anyways.
have Swo, we have Senka, who may as well just be a female Swo, and then we have a female Swo this season as a new character.
So it's like, yeah, so back to Suzune. She beats Senka. Then she has her fight with Megami, who, really good fight, in my opinion. That just shows off kind of like Megami's whole thing, and then really just kind of like promotes kind of like what I feel like is supposed to be the main core of Blackout. Is like, yeah, no, we.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of shows like, yeah. Another thing about Megami is like she's supposed to be like, the pretty like girl. She's supposed to be like the pretty girl who's, everything, but she's also like low key a demon. But
Right.
that part that's supposed to be like the whole aspect. She's the beast that's like, yeah, no, she's like regal and everything, but it's like she will just carve your stomach open if in a fight. Like the whole point is like when she locks in, she is a monster. Something that we were missing for 3 seasons.
Right.
It's like the fact that I think that's also what kind of probably would make people mad. It's like this season probably also just handled the dress characters better than the actual seasons they were in.
Yeah.
So it's kind of pissy. So it's kind of like probably a little aspect of them being like, God damn it. Where was this coolness when they needed it? It's like you're trying to retroactively fix them. It's like, I don't accept that. No, it's too late.
It's all over.
And then we have the
Like
fight with,
it's too late. I feel like.
and then we had the fight with Suo, which I was wondering how they were going to like implement Blankmire Nexus. I was not expecting him to literally dream it up. Like, how do we explain how he gets it? He had a dream so emotionally charged, he evolved his unit.
I mean, Shion pulled 2 different cards out of his ass.
That is fair.
People could just do this in Vanguard, all right?
I mean, we have in the universe reason for it, which is probably the divine force. He dreamed so hard. He had a dream so emotionally like powerful in his will to get through to Suzune. Just kind of like evolve Blankmire in the
Right.
dream.
Like, people can just use magic in this franchise to dream up a new card and alongside an entire wave of really specific support for it. Just happens.
Yeah,
And it's
so
not stuck for the people opening packs in this setting. Because imagine opening packs for a new card and like there's a bunch of junk filler for a card no one has except for that one guy down the street who doesn't purchase cards.
which now makes the whole Toya buys cases even funnier. It's just like
Toyo's probably getting ripped the hell off.
But you could have willed that Bastion. You didn't need
Right.
you didn't need to go to a store and buy it.
No, he could have just willed himself all the support he needed.
That's what's so funny. He's like, you know what? Hold on just 1 second. Goes to the store. and gets him some singles. It's like, meanwhile,
wait, there's more coming.
It's like, are we serious? It's just funny to be in that same time. We literally have a fully a human AI basically in Gi,
Right.
and now we implemented effectively like the Stride Force back into the series.
He
But
is just
also,
printing out Grifo support and just adding them to the release list. Carddesigner.com. Yep. Grifagila. Yep. Dragon Seed. Yep. Marker. Yep. Print. Send it.
it's just so funny. It's like,
He's the one person that doesn't know the create a card metagame.
and I think that's also why it's just like, that's why Yu-Gi-Oh pretty much just like kind of stopped doing the whole card shop thing for the most part, unless it's like a small scene here or there in their series. Because like, yeah, no, if we do that, we have to explain why this random card that potentially in the real life card game can become extremely busted exists with the main character's hands.
Right.
Like Level Eater's like fine because like Level Eater's just like a little small boy who's a common, and that's fine. Now he's on the ban list forever.
No.
Okay, so
honestly, I think card shops in the Vanguard universe should just change to like coaching sessions and just charge hourly rates because no one else anyone actually using the cards they purchased there.
yeah, just get you some spreadsheets, bro.
$25 a spreadsheet. Also, anyone selling spreadsheets is a terrible and evil person. It should probably leave whatever card game they're playing.
Hey, whoa.
I'm what you would call a card game communist.
We're just, I feel like YouTube gonna come to me like, what the hell going on?
You got wrong good behavior a little bit. Up until today.
Basically, you're funny because the old podcast got like flagged on Spotify for music. I'm like, what music did we use in that podcast? What did I use in that podcast?
Here, you just gonna flag me for violent and dangerous rhetoric.
You literally called yourself a communist. How else this was in 2025? That's crazy.
I'm crashing this show with no survivors.
Lord, please make this on YouTube on time. I'm definitely gonna have to do timestamps now because we gotta move this down. All right, so basically the Roken family. I feel like they've just kind of added another like potential storyline that will not matter.
No.
And that kind of sucks because it's like I feel like we're about to hit that point of like, oh, we're done with the Divinez cast because someone pointed out this next season is technically the last season they had originally planned when they started the dress era. So while there's probably more, this is like probably like who knows what's gonna happen.
I mean, know how it's gonna end, which we will get to later.
That's a big discussion. So I think it's time we move on to episode 10, aka the Kagetsu backstory. Now we've kind of like left out Kagetsu in this whole discussion mainly because he's just kind of been like this character on the side who's like, yeah, you have some like important backstory about what's going on and why you're entirely here. So we finally get the classic episode 10 where they explain effectively the main plot of the series,
Plot of
give
the
up
season.
plot of the season in terms of like giving important lore context and whatnot that pushes the story forward, right? So we have this, and it is simply put, he as a young Vanguard fighter became a pro while he was in high school. And so one day he hears about this strong fighter at this amusement park, which kind of builds it up. And so he goes to the music park, and guess what music park it is? It's Wonder Hill, the home of Team Blackout. And he goes to fight the leader of Blackout, who ends up being this young girl uh named Rui, and he fights her and loses. She's, pointed that, yeah, she's the leader of Team Blackout, and he fights her and loses. But to him, it was the best fight he has ever had, and so he spends as much, and so he wants to fight her again, but he basically says he doesn't want to do it until after he feels like he is strong enough to fight her on an equal footing. So he spends the time training and practicing. He also teaches like Vanguard players, hence how he met now, how he taught other Vanguard kids how to play Vanguard. And so he goes back, and when he goes back, Rui has already left. She has gone on her own like independent journey, just like Yu. And he proceeds to effectively lose all the will to continue being a pro fighter and quits. Because to him, not having that fight, that ultimate fight he spent so hard working for, kind of burnt him out. Effectively burnt him out. So he just said, all right, I'm done being a pro. And so he says, I'm done being a pro. If I can't have that fight, nothing else really matters. So he moves away, kind of gets his own apartment in like a city, still just teaches other kids Vanguard. But he kind of just like, it feels empty. He's like, so the whole thing of like, oh, that whole like little teaser of like, oh, that kind of question could kill somebody. He's talking about metaphorically as like that kind of question proceeded to led to him metaphorically just losing his will to still play the game at a competitive level.
Uh-huh.
It was more of a rabbit hole effect rather than just anything else, which, this is what he tells now as to why he stopped being a pro. That's the whole reason why he stopped being a pro specifically. He was considered the top 2 with Michiru. He was like this was literally like Kobe and LeBron, and then all of a sudden one day LeBron just retired because Kobe like retired from the league early. It's basically just that. So it's like it's so I guess the whole thing is, do you feel like Kagetsu's backstory was
Yeah.
a disappointment? Do you feel like it was, I guess the best way, do you feel like Kagetsu's backstory was worth the 10 episodes of build up and the way they kind of held it for this reveal?
I can't wait to learn about this character's backstory, only for it to turn out he crashed out over a cute girl. Honestly, it's hilarious, for one. But it might also be the realest Vanguard has ever been in a long time.
I hate how
Holy
you. I hate how that is probably also real.
Like, there's gotta be at least one guy somewhere who's in high school, like, man, this is great. This is amazing. Oh my gosh, she's into my hobby. And then she's gone, oh no, I can't do this anymore.
She's
It
out of
reminds me
my
of her.
life. Starts playing Michael
Like,
Jackson. She's out of my life. It's like,
like, I'm sure I get people being disappointed, but I'm also like, this is probably the best thing they could have done in a way.
uh, so
Like, it drags Vanguard back to that like soft sense of like reality the series has always like wanted to have. That makes sense.
so I'll kind of put it like this. I think so. On one hand, you're right. It's probably one of the more believable and honest backstories in a sense. It's like, yeah, you can have characters who just straight up stop a hobby because the person they wanted to play with just disappears or like stops, and you don't have contact with them. So there's no real motivation to keep being in the hobby, right? And please keep in mind, I'm saying this more so as just like he wanted to have that fight, right? We literally had one of the main goals of Will Dress season 2 and 3 was this idea of the ultimate fight, right? And for what
Hmm.
I can tell is Kagetsu had that ultimate fight or like a something close to it
Yeah.
and wanted to have that high again. And when he couldn't have it, it was like, why bother?
It's the greatest day of his life, but for her it was kind of Tuesday.
For Rui, it was Tuesday. That's the title.
I mean, I think there's a lot of good title candidates for this one. Yeah, like it, I like it, right?
I wrote
Like
down.
Vanguard needed someone with a simple motivation, with no crazy, overly dramatic backstory to just say, you know what, it's kind of silly.
And you know what? I kind of, I mean, over dramatic is in like, oh, I'm not trying to take over the world or anything, right? I mean, the closest thing to like a legitimately like, I mean, there's a reason why I say like Ryuzu is one of my favorite antagonists up until we got to Cinnamon, which ironically is like that's also my second favorite like final like antagonist character in uh dang, I'm forgetting his name. I'm just forgetting characters'
I
names. Huh?
Tatsuya.
Tatsuya, yeah, and Tatsuya, and that's because their motivations, while yes, magical, mystical, whatever, are based purely on their life experiences, right?
Right.
Like, oh, one of the reasons why Ryuzu and G wanted that the ability to strike gate was because he really did genuinely want conflict because of one of those instances he had where like he had a friend, like person he liked, he knew, who was kind to him, just get killed for no reason. Just got shanked and died because he wanted to stop a fight. Because he tried to stop a
The
fight.
random the random violence in like the G era is so freaking hilarious.
It is, but it's also kind of like it's supposed to put in a little, in hindsight, it's like it does kind of make Ryu's point. It's like a lot of random violence just happens. It's like
Like,
if
why
we
are
could
there so
just
many people in this card game drawing hands?
right, like so much violence, so much pain, and everything. Right, we know Rive pretty much probably only really joined Ryuzu specifically to revive revive his wife. Or are we sure, like, wife or baby mama? Because I'm not sure anymore, bro.
Ooh.
Because like G is like, yeah, that's his wife, but like Shinamon pretty much kind of like goes like, yeah, that was his baby mama, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, she was just a groupie I picked up during the Vanguard War in States era. We hung out all the time in my minivan. Hoorah!
Yeah, and then we have Tatsuya, who wanted to use that power because he wanted to reverse what happened to his parents, who were killed for no reason.
Dinimon's just a story about a bunch of people trying to cope with loss. And there's also just happens to be a card game. Somewhere in there.
But like outside of that, it's not to say that Vanguard doesn't have like realistic motivations, but this is a motivation that's just hard grounded in reality, and in the context of the series itself, you take a moment and just like, yeah, no, that makes sense. However, it also makes Kagetsu look like a total simp. If you go on the context that if we go with everyone else's like reading a situation, like, oh, yeah, no, he fell in love with a girl and couldn't let it go. And it's just like, that is, oh no, couldn't let it go.
Vanguard
so he just comes off as a total loser. Which
look, Vanguard kills. Trust me. I knew a girl over Vanguard once. Killed me on the inside. Kagetsu.
What? Which, oh boy, think about it now, that has some implications for how we go forward a little bit later. We'll get to that. But the point being is that yes, it is a realistic motivation to stop playing a game. In the context of the world, if we go on the whole thing of he had what Jinky says would be considered an ultimate fight caliber like feeling, something that would concentrate as being an ultimate fight with Rui, that is, it makes sense as like, yeah, I can't have that fight anymore. I literally saw God, and when I went back to him, he ghosted me. So it very much is like, yeah, no, that makes sense. But if you don't think about that and all you think about is, oh, he crashed out over a waifu, then yeah, he comes off as a total loser. Which, to be fair, I've thought about it for a while, and I came to the conclusion, yeah, every Vanguard like mentor is a loser.
Every single one.
Like Donji, loser. Now, kind of a loser, considering how long it took for her to become a pro.
Rive, loser.
Rive,
hi, loser.
Like, and that's not to say they aren't good characters or they aren't like cool in their own rights, but they're
just all bums.
They are also just, that's all this game, this card game is kind of like all they have in some way. And it's kind of funny because it's like Kagetsu's the first one who effectively quit it.
Like the first Vanguard character to admit, shoot, I'm actually just a bum right now. Later.
It's like it really just kind of is like, when you take that in consideration, it's like, yeah, no, for people who aren't sick in the head like we are thinking about this franchise like this, it comes off as like, wow, you just made this character who should be cool with this cool conceptual deck. Not only does his deck suck, but he also sucks.
I mean, I mean, I'm a fan of that because, like, I was like thinking about like stuff like early this week. I'm like, you know, the best part of Char's counterattack is right when Axis is falling, and Char out of nowhere starts talking about Lala being a mother figure to him, and Armor is left standing like they're trying to prevent the end of the world, in shock at how pathetic the rival is being, as they're both about to die.
That is a very good like put there, right? It's like, yeah, no, it's like Char for the entire series. Like people talk about Char like he is the greatest. Like they gas him up so much.
Right.
And to be fair, he does back it up. He has some really good moments.
There's an entire OVA just about glazing him.
Yeah, it's like Char is legitimately one of the best, one of the most well-written characters in fiction. But he's
And like
but one of the reasons he's also one of the best well-written characters because he's human. And that he's human. But also than that,
right.
it's because he's also a loser.
Yep.
Or rather, more to put it like this, he is a terrible person who does not know, who cannot actually fathom what he needs to do better in life. He has had multiple chances to actually like improve his life, to kind of like be like, oh man, I actually have probably gone too far. I probably need to actually move this way, right? He could have like been a great mentor to Camille. He was a good mentor to Camille, but he could have been a great mentor to Camille. If he didn't disappear all of a sudden, he could have been a pretty decent mentor to Judo, and Judo probably would have employed something in him.
Like all of Zeta Gundam is Char actively trying to improve.
Yes.
And then all of Zeta Gundam happens. It's like shit. All right, self improvement didn't work. Time to crash out. I'm done. Fuck this. I'm out.
Basically, like the best part about Char is also his biggest flaw as a character is that he is too smart for his own good, and you know that's kind of one of the things that people like too. It's like he's too smart for his own good. It's like, you know,
and like
he's going to falter.
Like he's been beefing one guy for 14 years who wants nothing to do with him.
Yep. Like one guy 14 years. There's a reason why some of his, and like, let's put it this, there's a reason why some of the Char clones, such as like McGillis and whatnot, have an aspect to him that is very like creepy to young girls.
Right.
Is because the man is not mentally all the way there still.
No.
He's never fixed his trauma. He never was able to fix his trauma in spite of it.
Right.
Right? It's like, you can be one of the coolest characters in the series, but you can also just be a loser. But it's how you move past that is always like what makes the Vanguard characters that are like the mentor characters in Vanguard that's so cool, right? Kai eventually was able to kind of get over that, even if he did relapse in Link Choker. Right? Rive realized that what he was doing was wrong, so that's why in G specifically, he got up out of there to hide Chrono Trance, that he could at very least attempt to delay Ryuzu's plans, even if like he couldn't actually who hide Ryu's plans, protect Chrono, get him out of there, and just like, do what he could to stop Ryuzu. Not including in Shinamon, where he basically removes himself from the planet with his own child to protect him, but at the cost of effectively like basically being presumed dead. Right? Kamui Kamui is probably the one character I think who isn't generally a loser, but that's because we went through him being a brat for 4 seasons. There's like, oh yeah, no, he's mellowed out. He's had his loser era. Obviously the only thing that really was about him is like him still just like kind of chasing after Emmy. But like outside of that, like that's pretty much the only thing about Kamui where it's like, yeah, no. Outside of that, like he pretty much is like the best, like most. How would I put this? Kamui might just be one of the most well-adjusted mentors in the series.
Kamui is just simply the guy.
Which is crazy because the bar is in the gulag.
Right.
The bar is in hell.
And now we like fast forward all over to Kagetsu. It's like, how is he dealing with things?
He's not.
Talking to people and hoping the dude doesn't crash out like he did. Even though he's putting like Kagetsu's hilarious, right? Like he shows up out of nowhere, and it's like, man, Akanema boy, why do you play Vanguard?
Doesn't
what's the most
leaves.
important? It's like, what's your most important fight? Homes now. It's like, ah, shit. I gotta help this guy out. Like, I fully believe Kagetsu's just trying to avoid Akina going down the exact same path he did.
Which, I think we'll talk about it in a little bit, but like I think that backfires, but for an entirely different character. Ooh, we'll get to there in a second. But yeah, I think what? Go backwards a little bit. Let's talk about Donji and why again Will Dress did irreparable damage to the dress cast so much that people really got upset when they came back. Donji effectively didn't have a moment of fixing that whole situation. Right? Like, yeah, no, he understood what he did all the years back then, was wrong. He wanted to make up for it. And what did they do? They turned him into basically a secret agent and had him F off for 1 season.
Right.
Then have him basically have to do like a side quest in America. And then he does almost nothing in the 3rd season.
Like, they had no clue what to do with Donji.
And I think that is just kind of how because of the backlash of him in over the season 1, 2 being considered
they really should just put him on a bus after, like, they should have kept him on the bus.
Like, send him to America and just don't have this brother come back. If you really just
right,
we're just gonna like do nothing with him, right? So yeah, it's like that whole thing. Now, again, that does kind of question of technically if Kaizo is the mentor character, in what way is he? I guess he's illusion that he is trying to juggle like so many things at once, right? Like he's trying to have his own Vanguard team. He has his own like secondary team. He has a company he's trying to run. He's trying to like improve a lot of things, right?
That's like he's trying to like what, the group older brother to the Divinez cast.
Yeah, but he's effectively like Erica's mentor.
Yeah.
And I say mentor because we're not gonna go there.
Man, Vanguard sure has to think about mentors, huh?
What do you mean?
If kidding. Kai and Aichi, Yu and Dunge. Yo, Vanguard and mentors, right?
I mean, that's just
Akina and now.
all right. Okay. Uh, so we get Kagetsu's backstory, right? That's kind of the main
Yep.
thing. Uh, so we'll talk about Ruby a little bit more when we get to like the end of this whole thing, but I guess we'll just move on to the final day. Actually, no, let's not
Right.
move on to the day. Let's actually, yeah, we'll move on to the final day, and then we'll go backwards to time talk about Group D. So final day. At the start of the day, pretty much, you know, I think we also kind of backtrack to because I completely forgot to talk about her. Erica is basically 1-1. She lost to Now, but she lost to Now and then she lost to no, she was 0-2. She lost to Now and then she lost to Yi prior to the final day. They did, however, set up a mechanic of a tiebreaker, whereas like, yeah, if the second place, if like there's no technical second place, there would be a
Right.
tiebreaker to decide who actually moves forward. So I think by
And the
this
tiebreaker is
point,
interesting.
huh?
And I mean, the tiebreaker's interesting because, like, they set it up immediately. And it's like, you're left wondering the entire season, like, all right, which block's not the tiebreaker? Hold.
I mean, it's like, yeah, any block could technically have a tiebreaker, which was pretty interesting. Which is why it's like when like in the day two when Senka beats Suo, it's like, wait a second, this is kind of crazy.
We're just doing this to build tension. That's why this fight's off screen.
Yeah, it's pretty much, but it's like it did at least kind of like, you know, give this idea of like, yeah, it still might not end the way you think it will.
Right.
And to be fair, it doesn't for some of these blocks.
No.
So right, so the whole thing is, uh, no, wait. No, wait, I messed up. She did not fight Gi second. She fought Mireille second, and Gi was her last opponent. She had to win against.
Yeah. Okay. She got the gay pity one.
Because Mireille goes 3-0 and she beats Now, so Now becomes 1-2. For Erica to have a shot to make it to top 8, she has to beat Gi and then win the tiebreaker. However they were going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So she beats Gi, which, you know, that means Gi is also 1-2 because Gi beat Now in day 2. So Now is 1-2, Gi is 1-2, and Erica is 1-2. That bracket was in tiebreaker.
Yep.
We then have the Suo Suzune fight, in which Suo wins. You know, which Suo wins, which was a pretty nice fight. I really did appreciate it. Really good fight. I appreciate it, even though
For sure.
Blankmeyer Nexus's introduction was kind of whatever.
I mean, it turns out it's pretty easy to win a fight if you just think up if you could stream your new card up.
Yeah. uh so then, you know, Suzune finally kind of like, you know what? I get it now. And so she kind of like says, all right, I'm just gonna fight. I'm gonna do my own thing, mama.
I'm gonna
And
have fun now, and I'm joining the bench.
okay. So
it's time to talk about it finally.
talk about what?
Her joining the bench squad next season.
Of course, she's gonna be bench squad next season. There's nothing else to do. We don't have any plot. We're at doing the top 8. But dude,
She's joining the cheer squad.
though it is kind of like, all right. So now, I guess the question is what happens after the season. But we can talk about that probably when we get close to the end of the podcast. Because like, that's really where Suzune's story is probably gonna be really aligned on, right? Is what happens after.
Yeah, because you're being a returner for like what happens after Divines.
Assuming we aren't done with Divines, because there is something we do still need to talk about.
Yeah.
So we have that Megami beats Senka. So Block B is locked in with Suo and Megami making it to top 8. And then we have Raika versus Kuon. And yeah, Uberg fans were not happy.
I mean, Kuon really said Mama's gonna be real mad if I don't come home with at least one win. I gotta do this.
Yeah, so he actually ends up surviving a push turn from Raika and then beats him, making them both 1 and 2. Meaning, in order for Kuon or Raika to make it in, Akina would have to lose this next match.
Like, legit props to Kuon.
Yeah.
Dude did nothing all season, but just pulled through to spoil it.
Yep. Made the final like fight very interesting in the end goal, which now leads into Kuon versus Akina. I mean, Kagetsu versus Akina Part 2. And I gotta say, this was, in my opinion, the best fight of the season, mostly because it really did just like, yeah, no, it could have been like, it could have gone so many ways in that last,
like, very nice structure to it.
yeah, just well connected, well, well choreographed. And it was just like, yeah, no, this feels legitimately like, yeah, no, this can go either way. Like, a lot of people are like, yeah, no, Akina probably does win this fight, but I think when he didn't hit a crit on that that penultimate turn,
Wait,
it was like, oh,
he wants the drive check. He wants the finale drive check. Oh,
it was like, oh my god, there's actually a chance he really just loses this.
Right.
Because it's like when he does that, is when he has that moment, it is like, yeah, no, he gave his answer. He genuinely gave his answer, gave moments. Like, if he loses now, everything is still fine.
Right.
But he, he even pulls out the OT and still doesn't win it. Which is like, okay. Like, again, people's thoughts on the OT aside, I'm like, that is a pretty, if Akina goes out like this, it's like, okay, that's a
This is literally
pretty
what the OT was designed for. Was like
high moments in aura.
Yeah, and like as far as Vanguard goes, we maybe see offensive over trigger like maybe like what once every like year and a half at this rate.
Proof's mantra never ceases to be wrong.
Right, they gotta get rid of the over trigger to add attention to every fight.
Or they have to use the over trigger in a way that doesn't outright win the game on the spot.
Right. We can't show them winning with the over trigger because they'll get mad and tell me the over trigger's a problem. Gosh.
Once a season over trigger.
Yep.
I mean, really do be like how like Yu-Gi-Oh writers kind of talk about how like it was hard to write ranks. It's like how the hell did we write this? They're like it was hard to write these duels because it's all the moving pieces that had to be like, looked at.
Like, I would not want to be the dual like choreographer for Yu-Gi-Oh! Holy cow!
Especially like post, like especially like Arc 5 onwards. It's like
Right, like even for GX, I would be pulling my hair out if I had to write like any of Jaden's duels every time there's like 5 more elemental hero fusions to show. I would be losing it.
yeah. Uh but pretty much yeah, no, that fight was the gym like, oh shoot, that actually can Akira can actually lose this, and it's like, yeah, it makes a narrative like emotional climax. But he wins because Getsu's deck is bad and they could not ignore it any longer.
Right. I mean, he tried. That's for sure.
I mean, I just think it really is funny. It's like, yeah, they give a character who's like, yeah, no, they're really good. They're really good, and it's supposed to be like there, and then you like play the deck IRL, and it's like, this deck is not good. At least not good
I
outside
mean,
like a casual level.
we can say the same about Akina's deck.
Not true. You can't say that when this deck made second place at the World Championship.
Okay, not like not Resident IRL, but like Akina's deck in the anime is like probably the worst way you want to run it.
I mean, fair, but Saragon does not exist in this universe. That is a youthquake card.
Right.
That's
It's
just
like you trying to fit every single like dress variant for like Verena.
uh-huh.
One of every Verena. Don't worry about it. Like, what are you doing?
Gotta be able to see something, buddy.
It's
But
like I
yeah.
get it. There's no sideboard in Vanguard.
So we get to the tiebreaker, right? Every other lineup is done, and we get to the tiebreaker, and the tiebreaker is the most funny thing ever. It's like, oh yeah, all you have to do is just we randomize three cards. Two of them blank, one of them is Seraph Snow. If you get the
Right.
Seraph Snow, you straight up make it to the next round. No extra fight, no nothing. I mean, there probably would have been an extra fight if any character like legitimately like there's only like a tiebreaker. It's like, yeah, just run it one more time.
Right.
But obviously, like, yeah, we can't have another fight. We're out of time, so we gotta just kind of speed it up. And by literal luck, Erica wins the tiebreaker and moves on to top 8.
Woo.
Which is crazy because like you see Jinky Ten like, and what can you do? Gee's like, aw. You have Erica who is excited because she's like, I get to live I get to live in an apartment for one more week. And you just see now turn her back to the audience. And you just see her upset.
Like, jeez.
Which now it's time to probably put out. Yeah, I think Kagetsu's question definitely killed somebody, but it wasn't Akina. I think what that just did, in my opinion, was just kind of like break now.
Right.
Because it's like, yeah, no, hey, you know what? Akina's like, hey, you know what? I decided I want to become a pro fighter too. I want to stand on the same stage as now. And now, who has been, that's the whole thing about her entire storyline. She's been struggling to go pro. And then when she finally makes it pro, she has to do it she effectively does it with a card she she doesn't own, or she doesn't like really feel connected to. Like she's using the Rakshasa primarily because like, well, it didn't fade away, so might as well use any. I decided, you know what, I might as well use anything in my I have to try and like, win, which makes sense. But
Yeah.
even with that extra power, doesn't she still isn't like strong enough to even make it to a top 8, to make it to the top 8. uh and her mentor and her mentee basically like, here he is in top 8, and he could theoretically win the whole tournament and become a pro faster than she did.
Right.
So it really is just like, it really is this moment of I'm trying to say this, like everything
Rift
now worked for. She just
is
watched
like
as her mentee just almost did it in one fell swoop,
right.
which
Like, jeez.
and she quite literally made it off a tiebreak. She lost the right to be top 8 because of literal luck.
Yep.
Like that hurts. That would hurt anyone to to already like lose the access to a major top 8 because of literal RNG check is one thing, but to lose it and then have your apprentice do it is a
And like
whole other thing.
right after he makes an entire speech, like, man, I'm doing all of this for you. I can't wait to stand by your side. It's gonna be amazing. It's like, oh,
You're not standing by my side.
shoot.
Like you arguably have surpassed me. It's like
Like,
having to deal with
it's
that's right.
it's brutal, but I figured it's like they had to do this, so they made sure Arcanek have like another character arc for next season.
I here's another thing that probably comes is like, I still, we're going back to Divine season 2 here. I really think this would have probably done a lot harder. I mean, this is very much like another issue of, well, now is, something we never really kind of delve into, which is how did Now feel after effectively losing her body to an existential force.
Right.
Right? She lost her body, she lost her will, and yet here's Akina saving her. Then here's Akina like basically like speed running the pro scene almost immediately. It's like
I
people are
mean,
so
yeah.
focused on the ship part of this whole dynamic that
Like,
people don't
there's
want
a
to
whole
talk
other
about
like
like,
layer to this.
yeah, there's a whole lot of additional layers, and I think if that was the idea, is like, yeah, no, we're instead of like, yeah, she's going to lose, we're not going to deal with that this way because we have a whole multi-seasonal arc to represent how she's going to evolve as a character. Because of that, okay, that might help fix a lot of like the Wildress problems, because hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
Very much so. So, but if they don't like capitalize on that, then that's where we got a problem.
I mean, I'm not too worried, right? 'Cause, like, one thing they did emphasize a lot this season in the lead up to like the finale was that the pro scene is hell.
Oh yeah.
So like having Akina like toss himself into that fire, and then the one person he did it for is no longer is pretty much getting like kicked out of the pot. It's like, all right, he's gonna have to go through those same probably gonna get like a burst of popularity, have to go through those same struggles while also having to deal with the actual tournament itself. And it's like, well,
I mean, he's not a pro yet, but it's like if he,
but like he's gonna like just get a ton more eyes.
but
So
the
to be
fact
honest,
that he,
no
the
doubt.
fact that he effectively, as someone who's barely played Vanguard for a year, effectively is just like a
Yep.
gigantic like super prodigy. He made it faster than the rising stars. He made it. He beat one of the old like legacy pros. Right, he beat LeBron James on a in a major tournament.
Right.
No, excuse me. He beat Kobe Bryant in a major tournament.
There we go.
Like like he did that as his first major tournament. He stood toe to toe with one of the rising stars, right? And then another like progeny pro scene member. He made it through the group of death.
And his prize is oh, just oh.
Yeah, it's like
Have fun on your way to the top, buddy.
yeah, it really is just like he made it through the group of death. He made top 8 while the 3 rising stars didn't even make it.
Right.
Right? The recently added Naoina Bay also scrubbed out. A literal AI built off some of the strongest players in the world didn't make it. But this literal high schooler who's been playing Vanguard for a total of 1 year and 2 months made it before any one of those characters.
What do you mean Joey Wheeler made it to the Battle City finals?
Exactly. This is literally the Battle City finals, and the final slot is Joey. What?
Yeah.
Everyone got an Egyptian god card. Everyone's like using super psychic
And then here
powers.
comes Wheeler.
And then you got regular man. It's like, yeah, no. Like Akina, if you think about it, it really is like Akina has everything going for him.
Yeah.
And then you compare that to now, who had to work her ass off day in and day out to try and like, right? It's like now it's like one of those players who like doesn't really get drafted, who is like an undrafted free agent who works hard and finally makes it on into the NBA pro scene and is going in day out day out. She's on a roster. I'm using a lot of NBA terms, right? Like you get it, right? Undrafted player in a competitive environment, right? And she gets it. And then she has she really has the equivalent of a little brother who gets #1 overall. Who shows up who comes out of high school, balls out in the combine, is projected to be the #1 overall draft pick. Is gonna go to a team that, because of it could possibly go into any team he wants. Meanwhile, she hard struggled again, right? Which,
right.
this kind of comes across to like, the whole thing of like, well, Akina pretty much kind of went through Hell's Gambit, right?
Uh-huh.
He basically had to win every fight in a tournament at the time, like magical tournament that ended up having life or death consequences. Then had to do it potentially again. Then had to do it again. And then went through the death group. All his 3 major storylines are genuinely like a bunch of like aggressive, like you gotta grow fast if you want to survive. And he did that.
But I have not seen odds more stacked against a Vanguard protagonist.
Yeah, really, if Aichi like lost, it's like, I'm literally a little baby boy. I literally can't. do this, and then even then he got help from literal magic powers.
Like Aichi was allowed to chill in the to start in the little leagues.
Yeah.
Even Chrono was allowed to start in the little leagues.
Yeah.
Outside of Jaime, like
yeah, Chrono just did side quests for half a season.
Like dude was actually just grinding XP. Like dude was just grinding XP for like 30 something episodes.
And it's like, like that. He was like, this is like Yu was like, yeah. Even Yu was like, yeah, no, he was just chilling. And even when the thing come up, he still lost, but he rose to the challenge when he needed to.
Like he had a prep time. Agina got fed to the wolves.
Agina got fed to the wolves, then got told by his time traveling sister, "You're going to die if you lose this next fight."
Run, get away from these wolves, or you are going to die. Like, and he's like, nah, I'll win.
It's true, he did that shit.
Yeah. And then the next season, it's like, hey, remember that time you almost died to the wolves? Well, there's 5 more wolves. And also Satan is here.
5 wolves, another wolf called your sister, and then Satan.
Right.
Good luck.
And it's like, all right, I barely got out of that one, Chief. I got the girl. I'm good, right? It's like, nah, dude. There's like 5 other people who can also beat Satan in the fight, and they're all coming for you.
It's like, oh man,
oh no!
It's like Goku going after fighting Raditz. It's like, oh well, now you gotta fight. Yeah, you gotta fight the Ginyu Force. Okay, I just barely made. All right, now you gotta fight Frieza.
Oh fuck!
It's like, okay, I did it. We barely made it.
Oh, here comes the android.
Here comes the androids. And then all of a sudden, and then next season you have Cell and Majin Buu just both showing up at the same time. Like what?
Right.
It's like, good luck, motherfucker.
Like no. You wonder why Arcanet's like advancing so fast? He's getting Zenkai boosts out the ass. Like he's on the Gohan regimen.
It really is just like, damn. You just think about it, it's like, damn, you really had to go through all this shit.
Right? Like he's just been busting ass since like day 1. And he hasn't really gotten anything out of it. It's the crazy part.
No, all he needed to get was just his little sister back, then unexpectedly had to get his mentor back.
And then like his little sister didn't even like him after he got his little sister back. Kind of, sorta.
I mean, that's because she got possessed.
Right. I mean, kind of just dragged out some like true feelings, so.
Yeah.
But man, this guy really is just like not actually taking care of himself. like I would say arguably he kind of went backwards this season.
Well,
because like now he's like competing with his sister, and like now there's like a rift forming between him and his Oso mentor, and it's like, oh, what are you getting out of this run, Akina? You run the most legendary run of any Vanguard protagonist, like relatively speaking, and you've got nothing so far. What?
It's kind of just a thing you can think about. It's like, yeah, he really just, he got his wish, but after that, like nothing. He's pretty much been only doing this thing, and then when he finally has, it's kind of like that. Damn, like when he finally has something he wants for himself, it's one, just the same goal he got from someone else, and two, that someone else is now struggling to cope with the fact that they're probably not built for this.
Right.
Like, also, even minus points the fact that the person coping with it is also the main female lead of the series, of this era.
Yep.
So there's potential, like, I guess I don't know what to call, like Bechdel test issues or whatever it is that people kind of say about it. It's like, that people use to kind of judge like how, like, a story like
Right. Yeah, I know.
represents
Get the Bechdel
female
test.
female characters. Yeah, it's like I don't know much about that, so I'm sorry.
Right.
But yeah, it very much is kind of like it's awkward here
Yep.
because if they fumble,
Like nothing feels right. Like it's an odd ending to a season where the main character wins, where it's like, did he?
I mean, we'll have to wait and see.
Like even Kagetsu was kind of like I feel like Kagetsu is the one that Kagetsu was like hoping wouldn't happen.
And that's why I say, like, Kagetsu's question didn't affect Akina,
Right.
but I don't think he was expecting who it would affect. Because, like, he was thinking, like, he was thinking more about Akina in that situation, and he truly believed, like, and I say this, like, not to discredit now, but, like, I think he truly believed that Akina was probably in the same argument as him, but it's like, no. It's
No.
ironically the person you've been training the whole time that wasn't built for this. That's been built for this. You might have
Right.
screwed over your mentee.
Like this is a season of trade-offs. It's like maybe the best way I can put it. Like outside of Shinamon, this might well be the most neutral a Vanguard ending has been.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Where it's like, hey, you won. Also, you lost everything. Like you can win the card game, but you're gonna lose the war afterwards.
Yeah. So I mean, again, it's like that's why I'm like, I don't think they're done with the Divines cast after season 4. Because there's
No,
still like something else they could do. Now, if they find some way to kind of just like speed run any other storylines, then yeah, they're probably just gonna be done again.
I'm
Remember,
calling
we literally
graduation
just
arc.
we sped run Real Trust season 3 so fast.
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, we're done now. What?
Like I think I'm definitely calling like a graduation arc, if that makes sense.
Uh, yeah, kind of like Legion
Like
Mate.
after the tournament, an entire season that's just the Divines cast getting their like conclusions.
Yeah, I mean, I still think I still think we probably could do something more with Stibelt.
Right. We could.
Right, because again, we never really got a true proper conclusion to that whole situation. I feel like them not addressing it would be utterly nonsensical. It's like we cannot leave that storyline unchecked, even though yeah, we've kind of like taken care of Gabelius and whatnot, right?
Hmm.
So I genuinely feel like yeah, no, we can uh do something more with that. So now it's time to go on to the American or the Western version of the Deluxe, aka the Group D. Uh, so to go back in time, Michiru finally awakens from his coma because he can. like literally, he literally awakens from his coma because he just says, you know what? I think I've gotten strong enough.
Alone am the honored one. I need to prove it again.
I think I've trained well enough. All right. And just wakes up. And so, the whole thing is kind of things like, yeah, no, Jinky was paying for Michiru's hospital visit. Donji did not go back to America. Go back to Japan. He was basically in America being Michiru's caretaker. Which is even funny when you think about it. It's like, wait a second. If Michiru, oh yeah, I was about to say like, I was like, oh wait, that makes no sense because Shinobu showed up at the end of Will Dress season 3 to see Michiru. But if Michiru is in America, how that happens? Like, oh wait, no, they explained in that Jinky actually like moved Michiru to America because he thought it would have like better health, be able to take care of him better.
Yep. That's so funny. Yep.
So
Sorry,
while he was in Japan, they did that, and then just during the seasons they transport him to America. So that's the timeline events.
All right.
Yeah, Michiru wakes up. He gets some of his health back enough to go into the American Deluxe, and he makes top 2 of his block. He wins his block.
Mm-hmm.
Which then, they hint about who could have been the second one. And I think the fact that they didn't actually reveal who it was like, yeah, no, the fact that Michiru didn't know who it was, but Donji seemed to have an idea, meant that it wasn't Yu Yu. So then we come to the actual reveal of this, and turns out it was Rui, aka the first leader of Blackout, aka Kagetsu's quote-unquote waifu. So now we have a top 8 that consists of Erika, Mirai, Megami, Suo, Kagetsu, Akina, Rui, and Mitsuru.
What a bracket.
Yeah, this is pretty thin. Theoretically, any one of these characters could have made top 8 and still be in the same bracket, but
Right.
there's a lot of storylines that come into this series at play.
There are a lot of storylines, none of which involve Mirai.
You're not gonna let that go. You're not gonna let that go.
No.
You're just like, why are you here? Because I need another Master Megami, duh.
She opened up the season saying, I'm not gonna lose here, and then she goes undefeated, and then she has no actual plot still.
I'm just here I'm just here.
Okay, Donnie, Lord of Bushra, please let her lose in the first round. Get her the hell home.
Like, there's not enough storylines. There's literally not enough storylines to deal with having Mirai reach top to reach the finals.
It really isn't.
Like, I gotta write this down. So
you can get more of a story out of Key. Barely, but something. I'd like to see Guy in a tournament trying to get his ultimate fight on. We gotta deal with Mirai. It would have been funny to see like all the Miyoto siblings now in Kagetsu in like a 5-person brawl.
yeah, so let's kind of like talk about like storylines. So, Michiru is finally coming back after basically being in a coma to the pro scene. This is technically his big major return. Kagetsu also has, a connection with Michiru because, Michiru is the person to be there when Kagetsu announces retirement. Rui also has storylines because, again, with Megami and Kagetsu, because, you know, Kagetsu's entire reason, it's the entire reason we have the plot line we have is because of Rui and Michiru. And then Megami and Rui because, you know, the two female leaders are Blackout, the first and the current leader of Blackout.
See, this one I'm worried, right?
How that whole thing. Erica still has the storyline. If she can win, she gets the ability to be a pro. That's also including a potential match where she finally fights Suo.
Yep.
Her boss unit is designed specifically to counter him, and they have not fought at all.
Right.
So this will be, there's a potential of that fight actually being able to happen. Then there's a potential Suo Akina rematch.
Right.
Then
Let me get my notepad out real quick. I need a second. Like,
yeah, then there's the Erica Akina match. There is a potential for something with Erica and Megami. But yeah, no, it's like you think about it, it's like outside of that, like the only Mirai storyline is another is Mirai versus Megami round 4.
right. Like, here's why things kind of happen, right?
Technically round 3.
Akina and Erica are probably gonna be on separate branches. I can see a sibling fight for the finale again.
Yeah, no, there actually could be a sibling fight for the finale, and one of them gets to go pro.
Right. And like, I'm a feeling it's gonna be Erica winning this, probably.
I mean, if we want to have a full now Inabe crash out, then Akina will win.
Like, it depends on like how much we want to bet on like Kagetsu's Doom prophecy just hitting Akina and now. Like, it would be so ironic if like Ruri and like Kagetsu finally get to talk and meet and
Oh,
reconcile whatever imaginary thing they have going that Kagetsu thinks they have going on.
yeah, and
And
it's
then
like,
Akina now just have the craziest crash out of all time at the end of the season.
yeah.
Like, they could do that. And if that happens, you're definitely getting like one more season out of here.
Yeah, I feel like we can't. I mean, that would be crazy. Like that is how Divinez ends, and we move on to like another year time skip with a new cast, and it's like, wait, what? And we just kind of like have to like see details of the background of what's going on.
Right? Like, that would suck.
I mean, it'd be interesting if done right, but it's like I don't know.
Right. Like, I'm trying to think here. Like, I'm trying to like figure out what the two sides of the bracket are gonna be. Like, I think honestly, we're definitely gonna be getting like Ruri versus Megami. We might be whoever guys get a run back against Swow, right? So like,
Yeah, we have to get Suo Erica. I think Rui Megami and Rui Kagetsu has to happen. The question is more so at which like points, right?
right,
We know Akina and Erica and Akina Suo can also be a thing. Akina and Michiru.
right,
And I feel like we have potential for a Mirai making me matchup again. Right? But it's, again, like Lakers
what
and
if we get
Celtics.
Michu? Wait, what if we get Michu versus Mirai in round one?
Ooh, that'd be a good matchup too.
Like, we get to see the two goats fight. Mirai loses, and I'm free. But like, it makes sense, right?
This bit is
Like, we get two of the strongest people in the verse to immediately fight each other and knock the other one out.
yeah. it's really hard to
Which
kind
also,
of determine how this bracket would go.
which
Like,
also means like round 2 kind of also has to have like Pichu versus Akina if you go that route.
all right, let me do a
Shoot, let me like organize this
see, this is
like properly.
great bracket. So let me do something like a RNG. Um, let me do this whole thing. Let me do a bracket type single elimination. Top 8 finals. And so you got. So we're gonna add. So group A, we're gonna have Mirai and Erica. We're gonna have Mirai and Erica. Group B, we're gonna have Suo and say Suo and Megami. Group C, we have Kagetsu and Akina. Let me actually like put this on screen so that I at least have something that people can understand what I'm doing.
Right.
Split capture. Source. That's not it. What was it? I was window capture. Here we go. Create new bracket. All right. So the window capture. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is what we got. We got Kagetsu and Akina, and then Team D we got Michiru and Rui. So if we shuffle around, all right. So we've got a RNG top 8.
All right.
So, all right. Um. So we've got this. Can I like? So we've got our first match up. Mirai versus Rui.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Suo versus Michiru, Kagetsu versus Akina, and Megami versus Erica. I'd say we probably rerun that again so we don't have a Kagetsu versus Akina again. Because that's like the one matchup of like, yeah, we've seen that again.
That's not happening.
And like an Erica versus Mirai, let's like not have that. All right. Yeah, okay, here we got. We've got Akina versus Mirai, Suo versus Kagetsu, Ruri versus Megami, and Erica Michiru. As a random like bracket.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, well. So let's do let's say Akina versus Mirai. See, Akina versus Mirai, what would you give that one?
Like the likelihood of that happening?
Yeah. Like we have Akina versus Mirai, we kind of have Mirai kind of if we're really not gonna do the
like,
Yu fight, would this be the Yu Akina pro tag fight? Would this be
yeah, I feel
a
like
better
I feel
option?
like I feel like all this would be as kind of like just a substitute for that, but I feel like it'd be almost like too cheesy on their part to be like, oh man, he's so much like Akina, and then she jumps down. It's like, all right, you get it. Two protagonists are pretty alike,
Yeah.
according to the one person.
All right. So Suo Kagetsu. I don't think this match will happen. I think this matchup is there's nothing about it that would make sense. Because then it's like, okay, if Suo wins, because if Suo wins and Akina wins, then it's like, yeah, we have Akina Suo again, which I don't think is a compelling matchup, especially since I just think Suo probably just beats the brakes off Akina in this matchup, which means Suo will make it to finals. And it's
I
like
mean,
then
I feel like
Kagetsu just like scrubs out top 8 before he gets the chance to fight Rui, which that isn't satisfying because that's the whole thing the entire series is built off of.
yeah,
So I
like
say,
Suo's in a weird spot because like he doesn't have that much to do here besides like potentially lose to Erica.
yeah, his entire reason to be here is to be like Erica's like catharsis.
Right.
Like that's pretty much his only reason. Like so
Yep.
long as he doesn't lose before that matchup, I think he's good. Right? Rui versus Megami is a matchup that's 100% going to happen. I think having the two blackout leaders have that moment together makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
that's happening
They're
for
both
sure.
Stokea users. It makes sense. I just don't know if it's
And
going
then,
to be a top 8 or a top 4
do you
fight.
want me to light the candles for the Megami players? I mean, fans.
No. Listen,
Sure.
I'm pretty sure she's not winning this tournament. Right? Her best shot was to beat Rika in Wildress
Yeah.
D2. I'm pretty sure she's not making it. Again, the whole thing is like if it's top 4 and this matchup happens, I think Megami could win it. It depends on one, like at what side of the bracket she's on compared to Erica, and two, at what point does this Rui Megami fight happen? Because if it's top 8, I give it to Rui. If it's top 4, and she had Kagetsu fight in the top, had a Kagetsu fight in the top 8, then I say it's probably, uh, I say definitely it is up in the air, and I probably give it to Megami there. Which then kind of leads to Erica Michu. This fight's not happening. Erica can, if Erica could barely make it, had to use luck to scrub to get out of a bracket that devious, she's
Right.
not going to survive against Michiru. Even if she has the ability to access multiple PG, she does not have the firepower.
Like they could do the funniest thing to Erica in the season and just say, your performance was so amazing during this round you lost in. Here's a bunch of sponsors lining up to also support your pro journey.
Oh, so you're like, you lost against the GOAT, but you lost so closely. It's like, you know what, you might have some.
Right. And then at that point, Akina wins the tournament by default.
Yeah, that's kind of like, yeah, no, Akina wins by default, and
Right.
then whatever follow happens from that is what happens. Um, um let's actually, yeah, let's go back and actually what the heck happened? Did it reset? Yeah,
Hmm?
reset. The bracket reset. Um All right, so let's actually kind of think of like a full like potential final bracket. If we know at some point either Akina or uh, either Akina or Erica has to make the final two.
Yep.
So I would say I say if we're going to do this, this is what my projected bracket is. Akina and then Mirai. That way we have that quote unquote. I guess we have Akina versus Mirai in one bracket. Right. That way we finally have that quote unquote protagonist like fight as a stand-in. If we're not going to bring back Yu, we at least use that. Right. So next we have 7-2, right? We put Erica on the reverse bracket, so we have Erica, and I say depending. So we say we got Akina and Mirai, right? We get Mirai out of there. She has no real point of being in the storyline. We have Erica, and I think we probably start with Erica Suo. I just think there's no other way that I think.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Because I don't
I'll
know.
just get out the way.
Because if we want to have a Michiru, because at that point, then the other matchups is like, right? Because like top four has to be either, if we're talking about like a top four masterpiece, we gotta have Rui versus Kagetsu, or Michiru versus Kagetsu, and then at that point, then it's Rui versus Megami. Right, so now we actually kind of think about this now. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. If we move if we move if we Akina Mirai, then we have uh Erica Suo. We have Erica Suo as another bracket. We then have the Akina Erica fight, and the winner of that fight pretty much wins the tournament. It's either wins the tournament or is definitely like becoming the pro. Because then we have, say, Rui versus Megami, and then and at that point we have oh wait, so you have Rui, and then gosh dang it.
You do Rui versus Megami, then that leaves like Michiru versus Kagetsu.
Yeah, then we have Michiru Kagetsu. Which at that point, right? Because then it's like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. It's like a banger first round, right?
I mean, I can see Kagetsu going out, right?
Yeah. Well, I can see Kagetsu going out, but I could also
I
see
mean,
like
sorry, Michiru going.
Kagetsu again. Kagetsu beat Michiru before. Kagetsu could probably do it again.
Right.
Now that he has a newfound like, emotional purpose to get to Rui.
Yeah. Like
So if we have
Kagetsu beat
Kagetsu,
Michiru.
Sorry.
So I'm so right. Like we do this bracket, right? And at least final for me, Akina, Erica, Kagetsu, and Ruri, which means we actually have a Divine's finale. Well, not a finale to the Divine's, but we keep the focus on our new cast, right?
Yeah.
And then like we get The problem is, like, where do you go for the top 4 here?
Well, so like where we've got Akina, and then if we have Erica win, that's Akina versus Erica, and then we have Kagetsu versus Rui. That is where the problem comes in, because again, if we want to have Akina win, the best way to do it is that Kagetsu loses to Rui and Akina beats Rui.
Right.
Or Rui beats Akina, right? That matchup was a 50-50, you can do whatever.
Yeah.
If we want Erica to win, Erica has to win. And then either Kagetsu or Rui could win. And then we have Erica Kagetsu, Erica Rui. Like either or can directly happen. But I
Yeah, you
think
know what? I can see that actually. Akina versus Rui and then Erica versus Kagetsu. And it's like, oh, Erica, you've also passed the trial of the moon. Here's your card.
which again, that's another part of things, like now also has a mythish that she
Yeah.
needs to unlock too. So it's like we aren't done with that storyline, definitely. So yeah, that's my bracket idea for.
I mean, I can see like now, I can see us seeing the missed arc of like Unrivaled, like probably the obligatory episode 10.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
this
all right,
also kind of
Akina.
depends on what there's also another piece of this too. It's like it also depends on what does the
Yeah.
the Sybil card do.
I mean, that's in a lore set, so
Yeah, it's a lore
I mean,
set, but it could have some implications for a thing that is still a possibility, right? Because it'd be like, oh yeah, I would love a Vanguard to also have like a rear guard skill, or like, yeah, if it's connected to a mal card with Malworm, it could like do something. I think that would be cool.
yeah.
But yeah, this is my my bracket idea. It is Akina versus me. My first round is Akina Ray, Erika Suo, Kagetsu Mitru, and Megumi Rui. Then that leads into Kagetsu Rui, and then we have Akina Mirai or Erika Suo, or I mean Akina versus Erika, or we have things. Alternatively, I thought about it. We could also have. I was thinking about it, but possibility, but it's like it could also be Akina versus Erika first round, and then Mirai versus Suo, and then we have Erika Suo in the semifinals.
Akina versus Erica first round kind of blows the plot up. I hope you realize.
Yeah.
You're taking Dynamite to the season.
You know what that is.
At that point, the writers are throwing their hands up, saying, "Oh, expectations completely subverted."
You know, you're completely right, because it then just
Like, it'd
kind
be
of
this
like,
troll move.
oh, it is a bold move, because it's like at that point it's like, yeah, no, whoever wins that match is like, yeah, no, you're probably winning the whole tournament.
You're the new main character now. So here's your crown.
And it's like if Akina wins it, yeah, no, you just kind of sweep everybody. You're going to win. Yeah, you know
Right.
what? You're right.
Like that literally cannot happen.
Yeah, you're right. It can't happen, because if it does, like, uh, because yeah, if it does kind of ruin the rest of the season. So it has, because one is like, because on one hand it's like, yeah, no, you have Akina. I mean, you could have also like, I mean, other things, you could have Akina Suo, and then Mirai Erica, but we already had Mirai Erica technically
Yeah.
in the thing, so that doesn't
Like,
really emotionally work. because
Like,
like
I feel
if
like
you
we
couldn't
kind
be,
of got it.
yeah, I just think this is perfect.
Like, and then like the top four has to be Akina versus Rui, Erika versus Kagetsu, and then we get the sibling fight for the finale.
Wait, what? No, no,
Like
no, no,
Akina beats.
no, that can't work.
Wait, what do you mean can't work?
Because again, it's like we would need to have Kagetsu Rui would have to be like first round or second round. But we also should have Kagetsu Michiru and Megumi Rui. So I think this is the only way the matchups work is if we have Megumi Rui first round, Getsu Michiru first round,
Mm.
Erika Suo or Akina Mirai. Alternatively, we could do Kagetsu Mirai and Akina Michiru first round too. Or we could find a way to kind of have Akina Michiru in like the semifinals. But then it's like
Huh.
kind of the question is like where does everyone else go in this whole like shenanigan mashup?
Like this gets really confusing of like two people who both have like equal shot of like winning.
It's like this is why it's like it's gonna be hard because when we actually see that final bracket, because like it could just be this and it'd be make perfect sense for like a cathartic
Right.
conclusion. To
Or
be,
they could be trolls and have the siblings fight each other round one.
which, as you said, breaks the series, breaks the entire
I
tournament.
mean, it would like it breaks the series, but it would also be kind of interesting. Like immediately start with like, oh yeah, Akina about the path to becoming pro. Turns out it's also gonna ruin your family life as well.
So is this just how we just gonna have the Vines end? Is like, yeah, no, the ending of the Vines is just Akina's life is ruined because
Like Akina will fall on the
he
sword of choosing the Vanguard.
it's like you
Chin
will
him on round two, baby.
it's like you will die. It's like, I mean
Spiritually.
I mean technically like everybody's been talking about like, oh yeah, man, you know, Erica came in saying like you're probably gonna die. If you don't forfeit the fated clash, you will die.
Mhm.
Then we have Kagetsu saying like, you know, that question could kill him.
Like all of Vanguard, all of like Divines is just Akina, we are begging you, don't do the thing. And him going, sorry, I'm gonna do the thing because I'm the main character. At some point, it has to bite him in the ass, right?
I mean, yeah.
So him just like
That being
losing every single major connection on the way to the top, trying to use the way to the top to like strengthen those connections with people.
would be the most ironic conclusion to a. I mean, that would be insanely like wild as a conclusion, right?
Right, like which I feel like if they do that, like if he wins, there has to be another season afterwards, right?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's gonna be
Which
another
one?
season regardless, but it is very
Right,
much
but
like
I'm convinced like
how
Divines
far
has to end on graduation.
how far we go depends entirely on the outcome of the season.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think this is probably like the best like reasonable matchup chart I can go with that allows almost everyone to kind of have an interesting catharsis.
Right. It's like if Erica wins, we get the good ending to the season. If Akino wins, all hell breaks loose.
Oh, nope, there is one more path we could do.
Oh?
And this is probably just me like wishing for a positive conclusion here. We could
Yeah.
have Kagetsu Rui first round, which then leads to Michiru Megami in the first round as well. In
The Eminem fight?
which calls back to her fight in Will Dress between Michiru. She
Oh,
beats
that'd be neat.
him. She beats Megami beats Michiru. All right, let me like kind of like put it like this, right? So like,
If
okay,
that happens, just throw out the power scaling chart.
right, we're just like Michiru, Megami. 6 is Michiru, so we go to Rui, and then uh 2 is Michiru. Man, I'm just typing terribly, right? So we have Kagetsu Rui first round, and we get that plot point the hell out of here. Then we have Megami Michiru, which is a callback to their first fight.
All right.
So here's and I think this probably also plays nicely because either or they can, that whole decision can be win, right? So if Kagetsu beats Rui, Kagetsu then can have a fight with either Megami, in a way, kind of like having like an old gen, old gen into new gen fight to
Right.
kind of
I
see
mean, if
the
you do it that
difference
way,
in emotional conclusion.
like, what would we do here, right? Like,
So,
where you're saying like Megami beats Michiru.
so let me kind of get my process out, right? We have Kagetsu beat
Yep.
Rui, and then Megami beats Michiru. That means Kagetsu then fights Megami, and if Megami wins, she goes into the finals. Alternatively,
Dude, I have some
Kagetsu,
copium I would
hold
like
on.
to tell you right now.
I'm coping, but however, let me finish the other alternative gap. We have Kagetsu Rui. Rui beats Kagetsu, and then Megami beats Michiru, which then we have the Rui Megami fight, which represents the entirety of Dress, which kind of like feels like a Dress conclusion right there, a full circle Dress conclusion right there, and then the winner of that goes to is obviously going to be in the final match, right?
Right.
Alternatively, you could have Kagetsu beat Rui and Michiru beat Megami, which means Kagetsu Michiru has that run back that was teased at the start. There's so many ways in this part of the bracket that could play out in such a way.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, there's probably a lot of catharsis there.
There's too many runbacks this season. Someone has to have that. Someone's gonna get their like thing silent to a filler episode. I'm sorry.
Mm, I don't know.
Like you're like at least one of these streaming matchups is gonna get like sent to a filler episode. I mean, quote unquote
I
filler.
mean, we have enough episodes where we can just, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 episodes in like 12, 13. So you have 7 fights, 12, 13
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of
We make
like
the
character
finale. We make the
development
finale a
stuff.
theoretical 2-parter. We have the finale be a
We
theoretical
still like
2-parter. We have
I still lose like 5 episodes of like just people like just doing stuff.
like the first part of intro right there. Just that's like 4 or 5 episodes to kind of just do like
Mhm.
backstory for
Character
Rui,
development.
to do character stuff, right?
Yep. We got time.
Assuming we are not ending the Divine's run this season, right?
Right. That means Agnes' character arc cannot fully end here.
Yeah. So it's like, again, I think this, like, I had the other one there, but I think thinking over time, like, no, this actually might be a better play. This might be the better like lineup, right? These 4 can be interchangeable pretty much,
Yeah.
and it's like it all makes sense. I think these 4 have to happen this way because nothing else makes sense otherwise. Because if we wanted to have an Erica Mirai match, that should have happened. We should have saw that match. We already had that match directly. And it's the only way in which like there's a lot more compelling storylines in all of these matchups, right? Kagetsu Rui finally happens after how long, right? Megami Michiru, that run back after Divinez, right? That was directly the start of, I guess you could call it the start of Megami's downfall arc. Run back. Erika Suo,
Mhm.
a storyline 3 years in the making, technically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Akina Mirai, effectively a stand-in for Akina Yuyu. Right? So we go with that. So
Right.
again, now we kind of going with this one. We go Akina Mirai, Akina wins. Erika Suo, Erika wins. We have the siblings fight again. And I project that the winner of this fight will be the first pro.
Yep,
Because,
Agita's gonna win. A double crash that will occur.
right, if Erika wins,
Good ending.
if Erika
You're
wins, she
fine.
basically
Everyone's
becomes
happy.
pro. Good ending. If Akina wins, we probably enter the dark. If
The
Akina wins in
darkest
the
timeline.
if Akina wins and the writers don't chicken out, we enter the dark
Right.
timeline.
Like this, we're gonna enter the equivalent of Kaiba jumping off the blimp if Joey beat Merrick. Because that we know that's what would have happened. Kaiba would have jumped if Joey actually beat an Egyptian god user. Just I'm out.
But,
Mokuba, you take over.
but Seto, this is your blimp. I'm out.
I can't be in a lower spot than Joey freaking Wheeler.
Keep in mind that fight would have happened like. I mean, yeah, he would have jumped if Joey beat Merrick and he still lost to Yugi. Because very least, like Joey, whatever, he could probably be like, well, you know, I get an easier match, arguably. Now I just need to beat Yugi, and then he
I'll say
loses to
Yugi
Yugi.
versus Joey finale would have been freaking perfect. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it would have, but it's like it would have been perfect, but also the match we got was still good. It's not like, oh
Right. It's I would say standard.
yeah, it's just the standard conclusion. All right, so like we have that whole thing, right? Bracket. So we have
Yep.
Akina or Erika making out of the top block. Block B has so many moving pieces around. Almost every matchup is within reason. Because if we have Kagetsu versus Megami, we can he beat the old one. He can now fight the new one. The new one, excuse me.
Right.
And if he wins that one, he could fight Erika. He gotta have a rematch with Erika with Akina in the grand finals, like they're full power, or we can have a match with Erika, which also Cathartic, works as well. Rui wins,
Right.
Megami wins. Uh, Rui versus Megami is a blackout fight, which metaphorically also works for closing out the dress era in itself. For now, right?
Right.
Again, under the assumption we're not going to have that Yu Akina protagonist fight, having the blackout storyline theoretically have a full circle moment in the semis would be also really good. Rui
Yep.
versus Michiru also works because they didn't fight in their deluxe tournament. So this would be
Nope.
the theoretical finals of that tournament. So that
Like
also
I
has
can
a good
see
storyline.
I can see a Rui versus Akina like finale now that I think about it.
Yeah, and Akina versus Rui finale also works too, right? Because again, I think also like if we have Rui goes to the finals, is like that also makes sense because it's like yeah, that's why Kagetsu asked Akina the question,
And like symbolically it like also works. It's like,
and
all
it
right,
also
before like the
symbolically
crash
also yeah. I think what you're saying. I'm sorry. Continue.
yeah, before the crash out begins, we also have to have Akina fight Kagetsu's now equivalent
I mean,
and just end some careers.
I mean that, but also right. You know what? So many people kind of I know pretty much so many people aka Mari Ikimari
Yep.
basically kind of points out, like, Rui is also very close to Yu in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So Akina basically fighting like two halves of Yu as the conclusion would also be a good conclusion too to the
Right.
storyline too. Again, I think there's so many good stories you can write with this
Yeah,
lineup of with
after
interchangeable.
this
That's
good
like, yeah,
lineup.
I think this is it. I feel like
Like,
them not doing this bracket or changing it up in a way feels like they would mess up.
right. And I'm still betting on the crash out timeline. Like, it's too good. It works too well with like the setup of this like of the series. There's like, what do you want, Akina? And it's like, uh, simple life, really. How do you like it paved with like the psychological corpses of all your friends, the people that got you here along the way? Oh,
What?
you guess whoa, but everyone else you're close to just kind of like gets real downer about life. Was it worth it?
Oh, okay. Hold on. No. You got it. I just thought that feels right too. It's like, yeah, it's like Akina. It's ironically like in a way just kind of also in a way also kind of makes, but it also feels awkward. It's like then it kind of makes like, yeah, no, Erica and Hikari were also wrong. Whereas like, yeah, think for yourself or something, and when he finally thinks for himself, it ends up making his little sister homeless. One of his little sisters homeless. It makes his mentor kind of like in a way partially like resent him.
And then at that point, Sybil kind of just like gets that win from like
Yeah, Sybil just, yeah, in a way it's like ironically Sybil kind of wins.
yeah. I mean, which kind of makes sense. Like Sybil kind of had the complete read on Akina.
But again, that also requires the writers to not be cowards, or not, or like, not to someone certain that starts with a K, to not meddle around in the potential,
They're
like,
gonna if we do this, they're gonna cushion the blow for Erica losing like a bit.
oh, I believe that, but it's also like I still feel like, if we come out of this and like now is still like okay, I feel like we kind of just fumbled, you know.
Yeah, trust me. Believe in the depression route.
This is one of the 100 endings of the 100 line Last Defense Academy.
Right.
All right.
Like all these potentially good happy endings for the Myoto siblings. No.
All right. So yeah, we kind of pretty much went through everything.
Yeah, this will get decent setup season. Get a chance for like 1 to 2 more seasons of shenanigans. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Believe in the bad ending, all right, everyone?
all right. Well, I think that pretty much calls it here, guys. Thank you all so much for
Yeah.
watching. Once again, if you're watching this on the usual channel or listening to this on your normal podcast app of choice, um, we will have another episode next week. A episode that will be like basically a regular episode. We will have a special guest on there. Again, if you guess who it is by Monday, at the time of this recording, you get a gold star. If you don't,
We will mail it to you through the post.
mail it. I'm just gonna post like a gold star on their response. That's all I
But,
can do.
all right.
You thought I'm not spending postage.
Fine.
What, like, especially if like the a person is like from China or something, it's like, oh hell. Send them a gold star that costs $50. Like, no. All right. joking aside, thank y'all for watching. We will see y'all next week.
Yep.
Y'all have a good night.
Yep. Peace out.